We welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season number 5 race in Dover, and this is the 100th NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race all time. And it comes tonight from the Dover Motor Speedway, and it, of course, is race number 10 of this season. But like I said, the 100th points-paying race in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series has history, going all the way back to the Season 1 Daytona 500 back in September of 2023, brings us to tonight here in Dover for the 100th race. And we are so excited to get this one going from Dover Motor Speedway. Of course, coming off last week in Pocono, Richard Cherry, what a victory that was, filling in for Matthew White. Of course, Matthew White will be back today, recovered from his skiing injury that he had during the off day last week in Pocono. That was his first ever missed race. That was his first missed race since Season 1, not including suspensions. But he'll be back tonight and fell back to 6th in points. So he's going to have to do some work tonight. Lowest he's ever been in points, I believe, in the Cup Series. So, of course, starting off, we're going to have the half-hour warm-up session, the 2 laps of qualifying coming up for the pole, as usual. 200 laps tonight in Dover, the halfway break at the end of lap 100. We'll be going over some more things to watch out for the race. Just looking at your chase standings entering tonight here in Dover, and some more in the warm-up session coming up. Alrighty. So we're just about to be on the racetrack here from Dover Motor Speedway to start off with this warm-up session, half hour as always from Dover. Get warmed up for tonight's Cup Series race. Like I said, race number 10 of this season. Alrighty. Dover, Delaware, the Monster Mile. One more race before the Charlotte 600 next week. We've got 2 very special races, the 100th race this week and then a crown jewel next week. Our second biggest race of the season, and of course our longest race of the season, the Charlotte 600. So, of course, we're going to have to see how that all goes tomorrow or next week. But, of course, first of all, most importantly, tonight in Dover. Already now in the double digits for races this season. It really has kind of flown by. Race number 10 of the year. Of course, we had the Grand National Series last night. Actually, it was won by a Cup driver, Bryce Benson. What a battle and finish that was. Only 1 yellow last night. And there, we already have a guaranteed 1 yellow, though, in the Cup Series, because that, of course, has a halfway break. Grand National does not. But we'll have to see how this goes. All right. So, just about ready to go here for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in Dover. This is the 4th ever Cup race in Dover. We only took one season off in the league history here at Dover back in Season 2. Former winners here include, the former winners racing tonight include Aiden Donahue and Braden Hunsicker last season. Alrighty. Welcome live to the Monster Mile here tonight in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Here we go. Alright. Here we go. Cars just now going to pull onto the racetrack here in Dover. And the first one is the 66. Of course, you know Eli Franklin as our, our co-commentator here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series usually. But Eli is going to be making his Cup Series debut tonight. Finished 12th in the Grand National race last night, where he, of course, is full-time. So, Eli, you're pulling onto the racetrack. I mean, first ever Cup race, now in the 100th ever Cup race for you. What are your base expectations here?
Well, expectations tonight, just run all the laps, get a feel of the car. Ran a couple practice sessions, got to be able to save tires. Tires will eat you alive tonight. As long as you can save tires, you have a chance here tonight, but want to run all the laps, get the car.
We'll see how it goes. He's on the racetrack now. Here's the 94 there of C.J. Erdman. Kind of had a rough few races. Currently now sits 18th in points. As he heads down the front straightaway in the 94 car. So just getting started for this warm-up session. Cars making their opening laps on the racetrack. Here he is returning to the 7 car. Matthew White, of course, after a week away. There's a little injury he had. Back, though, tonight, luckily. And he'll be looking to gain some points. Needs those heading into tonight. But, of course, race number 10 of the year in Dover. Here comes the 7 car down the back straightaway for White. We're having a bit of a lag issue there. Feel like it's all sorted out. hasn't been the greatest of that over the last couple of weeks, but Matthew White heads down the front straightaway into 1. So still early laps. Here's Ashton Miller. Had a great race in Pocono last week. Probably could have won, just didn't have the right track position at the end of the race there. Led a lot of laps, especially early. Are actually kind of faded in the second half of the race. And never really got it back up front. But we'll be looking for another good run tonight here in Dover. First 200 laps today from Dover Motor Speedway, and let's look at your chase standings entering the day for our 10th race of the year. Of course, so far, Cameron Chandler, what a season he's had for points-wise. Only one win this year at Rockingham. Currently sits the 141 above the Chase Cutland. Almost, I mean, he could lock himself in relatively soon, I think. Sean Rowe sits 93 above the Cutland winner, Nashville 3-time winner of the season. Bryce Benson, he's actually looking to sweep the week this week. Won the iCar race, dominated that one on Tuesday. Barely won last night's Grand National race for his 3rd career Grand National victory. It's his 3rd in the Cup Series points. Braden Hunsinger, defending series champion. Last season's winner here at Dover, sits 4th in points. Aiden Donahue, a great race last week at Pocono. Probably could have won it. Again, he was so close to the victory lane there. Finished 2nd. Now it sits 74 to the good. Still looking for that first one of the year. Matthew White, of course, first missed race in such a long time in Pocono last week. Now only sits plus 70 to good, 6th in points. Ashton Miller only plus 24, and then you see John Butler. This is when it gets interesting. John Butler just plus 4 to the cut line. Andrew Stacy just plus 4 as well. Jacob Quill is plus 2. Look at the cut line now. Axel Smith minus 2 below it. Payson Lindsay, returning here from suspension last week at Pocono, now sits minus 16. Trent Wilkin minus 27. Aiden Holes minus 28. Tobin Erdman, I should say, minus 28, minus 42 for the top 16 drivers. Cars continue to just make some lap times early here, so we'll wait a ton of more drivers to come in. Obviously, there's Cole Clausen. Sean Hilkich gets a little bit loose. Oh, we got a big wreck here in the back straightaway. Oh my God, John Butler is flying through the air. You're going to see some gold paint schemes tonight, and also some drivers running gold rims like Cole Clausen is to celebrate our 50th ever Cup Series race tonight. See Cole Clausen now running down the back straightaway. They also get Richard Cherry, of course, now back in the 29 car, but fresh off that first career huge win in Pocono. He was filling in for Matthew White. Another car that is running a completely gold paint scheme is Cameron Chandler. I don't know if he's on the track yet. No, he isn't. Running now one of the cars. I believe this is the 14 of Jacob Quayle to the inside of Matthew White. He will actually slow it down a little bit. There's the 96 of Andrew Stacy. All right, still though early on is warm-up session here in called Pocono for some reason. Dover. This definitely isn't Pocono. That's for sure. 200 laps upcoming from the Dover Motor Speedway. So Eli, you've been on the racetrack now for a few laps. What's the feeling so far in this early in this warm-up session here?
Honestly, the car is a lot less looser than last night. Last night, the car was very loose off the exit of these corners. But honestly, the car, after like lap 1 or 2, the car is pretty stable. You can get on the throttle pretty easily on the exit of these corners. You can't go full throttle, but you can go about 90% and your back end won't kick out. So honestly, the car feels pretty good. Tires still wear really fast, which is to be expected of this track. But honestly, not too bad so far.
Of course, get 4 sets of tires down on pit road like usual in the Cup Series. These 200 laps. Because you can't make it to the end on fuel stage, so you'd expect we only had one caution in this race being the halfway break. We would expect them to pit in the first half, pit at halfway, and then pit in the second half, which would be 3 sets of tires. That would give you an extra set. That's kind of how the mindset is there. All right, here's Aiden Donahue in the 82. Finished 2nd last week in Pocono, but still searching for that first career win, but comes into one of his best racetracks here in Dover. What can he do tonight? Is tonight maybe his day to get his first win of the season? Should be a very long time coming at this point. Oh, and he's nearly going to wreck that race car. Here's the 7, back at a 1 and 2. Matthew White. Currently top of the board in the 7. Wants to get some laps under him in the Cup car once again after missing last week in Pocono, his first missed race not by choice, but not by suspension since season 1. Yeah, literally the last time Matthew missed a race before last week outside of suspension was 2023, and now it's 2026. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Think about it. Our longest, or of course most wins in the Cup Series, 23 to his name. Looking for career win number 24 today would be his third of the season, and move him up from 6th in the points, which he needs to do that. That's the shot of the regular season championship. Oh, and the wall, Cole Clausen here down the front straightaway. Winner in Fontana this year, finally gets the victory in the Cup Series. First full time in Grand National and won in Phoenix. Currently sits top 5 in Grand National points. Here's Andrew Stacey. He has had impressive speed all year. This 96 car for a lot of races lately, especially in the season, the last few races. He's had top 10 pace. He's looked really, really good. He's just improved all season long. We'll see what he can do tonight. There goes Matthew White around him. Cameron Chandler, we haven't seen him on the racetrack yet. He might be having a couple of connection issues so far today. See another gold car on the racetrack. Here is the 9 of Bryce Benson. And there's Cameron Chandler. You see the other gold car. There's all this gold on the track. Another gold car, 36 there, and Knox Thompson for Johnson Motorsports. He will now pull on to this racetrack. Still not even halfway through this warm session here in Dover. It's Dover Motor Speedway. Used to be Dover International Speedway. Remember that. I went to a race back here when it was Dover International. Of course, a little bit of a name change bought by SMI. Now it's Dover Motor Speedway. White's, though, still top of the board here in Dover. I mean, tonight is going to be still a long race, 200 laps here at Dover. And tire saving is going to be a big thing. It's going to be good, little, I guess you could say, I know they're completely different racetracks, but for endurance-wise, it's going to be a good little test for tomorrow, or next week's Charlotte 600. Of course, that's Charlotte Motor Speedway. One driver that is still looking for his first ever Charlotte 600 win is Matthew White. He's come so close, finished second in a thrilling finish back in Season 3 with Cameron Chandler. That's as close as he's ever gone. Actually, he didn't finish second. He actually spun out in the final lap, battling with him to 3 and 4 in the last lap. That was an incredible finish we had back in Season 3. Riding with the 7-car Matthew White. Still, though, top of the board for him, on the wall a little bit. Still making laps here around Dover. There is the 20 of Sean Rowe as well behind him. He's going to go to the outside of White. In the wall, there goes Sean. Sean, of course, finished 5th last week in Pocono. Oh, we got a crash. That was one. I didn't actually see who that was. I don't know. They reset.
Nice race will be important about when to take tires, because we'll set the tires. Long race here tonight, and honestly, if you can get the right strategy to where, just say we have a 10-lap run, maybe for a stage or for the end of the race, if you want to take that risk with the extra set of tires, maybe say if we're in the stage, you can gain a lot of time, because maybe I'm not the fastest dude, but I passed, I always see Joe Ehrman about to pass John Bowe, and I was like 3 seconds behind, so like 10-lap pressure tires make a huge difference.
Of course, cautions so far in this week haven't really been a big thing. Grand National, there was only one, and it was for the lap number 1. So after that, they kept it clean for the rest of the race. Besides Cole Wilson driving into the pit barrels while battling for the win, trying to go to pit road. That was a little bit of an embarrassing moment by him. You can obviously practice pit road here. In the warm-up session, you got a half hour to do that. So I'm not really sure what Cole Wilson was doing last night. Here's Trenton Wilkin in the 12. Still sits below the chase cut line. Had a wreck last week in Copenhagen, which definitely hurt him. And in front of him is Matthew White there in the 7 car. Cup Series champion, most all-time winner. This is another racetrack Matthews never won at, Dover. So looking for that. We're in a stretch now of maybe 3 races in a row. Dover, Charlotte next week, and then Bristol in 2 weeks that Matthew White has never won at, those racetracks. So he wants to get his first victory, one of them at least. Probably, I would say, most notably the Charlotte 600. I know badly he wants to win that race. Still just about halfway through this warm-up session in Dover. Here comes the 20 of Sean Rowe back on the track. Ashton Miller, Braden Hunsicker, and there is the gold machine of Cameron Chandler. Currently sits 4th on the timing sheets. Gets loose and nearly goes around. That was Braden Hunsicker in the 77. Man. Chandler to his door on the inside and Hunsicker on the wall a little bit. A little battle going on here. You got Axel Smith in the 97. There's that 94 Verben in the bottom of Chandler. Sean Ilkridge ahead of these guys. There is the 96 of Andrew Stacy. Payson Lindsay's having a bit of an issue connecting right now. I don't know. That's probably the best thing for him. He's gonna have to hope he can get some time in here during practice. There's the 20 of Rowe. Top 5 so far: Matthew White, Rich Cherry, Aiden Donahue, Cameron Chandler, Bryce Benton. Then you got Sean Rowe, Braden Hunsicker, Ashton Miller. Very impressive for Knox Thompson. And then his teammate John Butler is 10th. Here's the 9 of Benson in the gold machine. Looking to sweep the week. Wow, what a feat that would be. We've had drivers sweep the week before, but that doesn't include iCar. We've had Cameron Chandler, Aiden Donahue, that both swept Charlotte in back-to-back seasons, Season 2 and Season 3. That was impressive for both of them, but never a 3-race sweep. Bryce Benson looking to do that for the first time ever. He's had so many wins this season already in the league. When you think about back-to-back wins in iCar, 2 wins in Grand National, 3 wins in the Cup Series, 2 wins in the Daytona 500. The winningest driver in the league this year, after being winless pretty much throughout his entire career in anything. I mean, coming to this season, Bryce had like 1, maybe 2 iCar wins, 1 Grand National wins, no Cup victories. I mean, and he has just rattled them off all of a sudden. It's actually really impressive for Bryce Benson. Oh, and now William Reagan will spin. Or that's not William Reagan, 36 car. That's the 36 of Knox Thompson, of course, and William Reagan's machine. There's teammates from ETR, Sean Rowe and Trent Wilkin. They pass each other there. Sean currently 6th on the board. Trenton is down to 16th. These 2 ETR teammates. Here's a good battle between Showtime Motorsports teammates Ashton Miller and Aiden Donahue side by side, and oh man, big slide of that 79 car. And Donahue moved to his inside. There's the 7 of Matthew White and Cameron Chandler behind. And there are a lot of drivers we have here that are very good at Dover. I think the best two, maybe your 2 favorites to win tonight, Aiden Donahue and Cameron Chandler. Donahue, of course, won back here in season 3. You also can't count out Braden Hunsicker, your defending race winner here at Dover. And, of course, your defending series champion in the Cup Series. 3 wide. White split in the middle with Hunsicker, Chandler, and others. Andrew Stacy back there. Good racing going on here in the warm-up session. We like to see this. Eli, have you been able to pass anyone? If you are, what's the car feel like? Is it racy?
Yeah, it definitely is. If you have manual tire management passing people, so like even 5 laps, you're probably passing. I think I have maybe a 5 lap with Cherry, and I'm slowly gaining on him, and he's second on the board. So tires matter a lot.
Yeah, it should be fun to see Hunsicker to the inside of Wilkin, who's a little bit slow, but regain momentum. Of course, the Monster Mile, Miles the Monster, big statue, giant statue I've seen in real life outside of this racetrack. It is absolutely massive. It holds the race winner's car from the previous season, so right now it's holding Braden Hunsicker's car. It could bite. He can bite at any time, and he can make your race a living nightmare. 8 minutes, 45 seconds to go in this warm-up session in Dover. There's Braden Hunsicker. There's pit road. And yeah, Payson, I don't know what's going on with him. He's taking a million years to get back in here. And there goes the 77 down pit road. Eight minutes left here, though, in Dover for this warm-up session. There's that 96 car of Andrew Stacy. There's Pace or Ashton Miller from the pit road. There's side-by-side action between Sean Rowe and Matthew White. Top 5 separated by about a tenth of a second. We've seen that all season. We've had maybe like 7, 8 cars, 7 full-time guys. Then you throw Richard Cherry's name in there because he's. I mean, at this point, you call him full-time. He doesn't race for the championship, but he basically runs every Cup race for Team Chevy Motor Club, and of course last week, most notably for Highline. So those 7, 8 guys that are just so close on pace every week. It's very impressive to watch. Sean Rowe is one of those guys. Currently 6th on the board here is Matthew White, getting passed by Bryce Benton in the 9. Got a little bit of gold on the 30 of Sean Hillquich here. He's been running this paint scheme all season, so I don't know if it counts. But I guess, well, he got actually lucky because he already had gold on his car. So I guess that's a plus for him. He got 8 holes in the wall in the 42 car. There's Cherry down the back. There is Erdman. There is John Butler, Gold Possum. Of course, both of them running gold rims. And the gold rims can work on some of the cars. I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if it works too well on these two, to be honest. I don't know. It's all right. It's not the best, not the worst. There's Connor Havrilla ahead of him in the 50 car. Connor currently sits, let me actually pull up your chase standings right now. I don't have them in front of me for some reason. Connor currently sits outside of the top 16. He he sits way below the chase cut line. Had a rough start to the season, but he's rounded off some decent top 15 results. Could be worse for him. As we see Andrew Stacy flying a pit run into the pit barrels. Yeah, you got to practice pit road because that exact thing you don't want to happen that. You don't want that to happen in the actual race, for obvious reasons. Cole Wilson did that last night. But he actually went straight into pit road, didn't spin, just drove his gray national car into the pit barrels. Here's a better look at the gold car of Cameron Chandler. Of course, usual Monster Energy card just kind of changes the colors every now and then. You've seen pink on his car, you've seen blue. Now you see gold, you usually see green for his primary. Oop, car on the wall. No. Other ones wrecking. Here is the 29 of Cherry down the front stretch. She also got another run on pit road. There's Hayden Donahue. Here's Cameron Chandler in the 8 car. He's loose. My goodness. All right. Here's McMillan rolling back on the track again. About 4 minutes to go here. Jason Lindsay still having the time of his life trying to connect to this race. We have somebody spinning ahead. There's Jacob Quayle in the 14 in the wall. That's some pretty heavy damage on that 14 car. Jacob currently enters the -2 to the cut line if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's +2 actually, I'm sorry. -2 is...
Jason Lindsay's finally joined the session.
Wow, it's an absolute miracle. Only took him half an hour. But here comes the 77, a Huntsicker down the front straightaway. Yeah, for a guy like Payson, you don't want to... This is not good for you. This is a practice, the track you want to get practice at. For sure. I mean, a lot of these guys practice anyways, outside of this. But not with everyone on the racetrack. Oh, in the wall goes Clausen down the front straightaway. Matthew White there as well. Now, oh, big hit in the wall for that 71. Man. Oh, we had a car flying. Knox Thompson. 8 holes in the wall. Holes this season, he's been decent. He's had some good runs here and there. Currently sits -28 to the chase cut line.
We'll say in this session alone, lap times have fallen later in the session goes. So most of the these fast lap times early on in the session, I don't know what it seems like lap time is going to fall.
Yeah, track. Oh my God, it's an absolute smoke show on the front straightaway. I can't see a thing. Track kind of changes throughout the session. Matthew White is probably going to win practice here. Cherry will be second. Donahue, Chandler, Benton, Rowe, Huntsicker, Miller, Thompson. Really good for him. Wilk in your top 10 here. Most impressive one is there in the top 10 is Knox Thompson. I mean, the top 8 all have wins in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series now that Cherry has gone to victory lane. Wilkin has been very close, but Thompson is the big standout one there inside of the top 10. Riding with Ethan McMillan. And there's the 97 of Axel Smith. He needs points tonight down the front straightaway. About 1 minute to go here in this warm-up session. We are just about ready to go here in Dover. Race number 10 of the Cup Series season. It's just about time to qualify for it. Lindsay is finally on the racetrack. Actually flying to him. Just want to double check what he's doing. I kind of forget. There he is. Oh, he's running his gold car. This is the same kind of paint scheme he ran in Grand National last night. Of course, it was basically the Grand National takeover from the Cup Series takeover of Grand National, the yearly takeover here in Dover. For some reason, they just love this racetrack. Cup drivers in the Grand National cars. Alrighty. Well, that'll just about do it. Oh my God. It's time to race here in Dover. Or, well, time to qualify, I should say. We'll set our starting lineup for tonight. Oh my goodness, Pace and Lindsay. Alrighty. Matthew White will be fastest here in practice. What are we going to see in this race? First of all, in qualifying, who is going to win the pole? I'm not really sure because, I mean, the track, of course, got worse there at the end. So who knows? Here we go. Car is going to pull onto the racetrack for qualifying. Time to set our starting lineup for tonight's Cup Series race in Dover, the 100th ever Cup race. Who's going to win the 100th NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series pole here? That's the big question right now. Oh, and Aiden Donahue's not going to start off too well. He will spin off of pit road there. Here's the 96, Andrew Stacy through 3 and 4. And coming down the front straightaway to the line for that 96 car. Start his first lap. There's that 82 of Aiden Donahue, the 71 there of Cole Kloss, and the 94 of Erdman. There's the 7 of Matthew White, the 8 of Cameron Chandler. It's going to be a long, hard race for these guys, but it'll prepare them nicely for the Charlotte 600 next week. Here we go. 2 laps qualifying to start off here in Dover for the pole. Best lap, of course, counts for you, and best lap we see in the session is your pole sitter. And here's your winner last week, Richard Cheery, driving in the 7 car, finally gets his first career win, back in his usual 29 though tonight. Here is Ashton Miller on the racetrack, the 77 of Ray Hunsinger down the back straightaway. He's currently second on the board. Cheery's currently top of the board. Chandler now goes fastest by a 10th. Will we see improvements on lap 2? I would say maybe some throwaways lap 1 to get your car up to speed. Matthew White is second. I believe he's done. Chandler's still top of the board in the 8, and he's got room to improve. Cheery is, like I said, third. Hunsinger goes to second, beats Matthew White, his teammate, who is done. Matthew White is done. Hunsinger is second. Here comes Chandler across the line that looks to improve on his time. Looks like we've seen improvements on lap 2, but Chandler does not improve on his time. That's going to be a little bit worrisome for him. Here's Jacob Quayle in the 14. 79 there, Ashton Miller. Hunsinger is still in the racetrack. Aiden Donahue, he's 4th on lap 1. He backs it down. That's going to be only 4th place for Donahue. Here's Sean Hilquist on the racetrack, the 12 of Trent Wilkin. Aiden holes nearly in the wall down the front straightaway. And back at a 1 and 2 here. All right, about just away halfway through the session. We got still guys like Sean Rowe, Bryce Benson to go here, and others.
Bryce Benson's now on track, so here he comes to do lap 1. Let's see what he does. Cameron Chandler pushed from lap 1, and Matthew White killed lap 1 by just trying to get speed for the second lap. You see Bryce Benson does. Looks like he's attacking lap 1.
Yeah, and that 9 car, and let's see if Sean Rose in the racetrack. You got Quayle. Chandler's still making times. Here's the 96 of Axel Smith. You got the 20 of Rowe now pulling on the track. And the 9 of Benson through 3 and 4. And here he is, Dylan Banks. All of a sudden, it was just announced a minute ago. I believe he'll be filling in for Davy and Tobin tonight. They just rewrapped the race car. Bit of a voice crack, but whatever. And he's on this is your Season 3 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series champion. We'll talk about it in a minute. Here comes Bryce Benson down the back straightaway, currently 5th on the board, lap 1. Through 3 and 4, that 9 car goes. Sending it down in the corner. Look at a sweep the week. Would be the first ever driver to win 3 races in a single week of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, not including lobbies. Across the line he goes.
Didn't improve, so he's going to stay 5th.
Still a good starting spot for now, but you also got Sean Rowe in the 20. Rowe on lap 1 here across the line.
Wow, 7.
Wow, what a great lap time. Just half a second off. Can he improve lap 2? Who knows? Banks, by the way, was, I believe, 13th. Miller was only 12th. Here is Payson Lindsay down the back straightaway. Here is Sean Rowe through 3 and 4. Final time for the ETR driver. Almost in the wall. Pushes it as hard as possible. Slides. Across the line he goes. And
No improvement.
yeah, that's this. I mean, we've seen kind of a mixed bag here. Drivers improving and then other drivers not. Kind of interesting. Payson now.
Payson Lindsay 8th on lap 1.
Down the backstretch for the final time in qualifying for him. Can anyone knock Cameron Chandler off pole? Can his teammate Payson Lindsay do it? Oh, he slides, and around goes Lindsay. That'll be his qualifying over. He will qualify 8th for now. I don't know if anyone is still on the racetrack improving. You got cars slow on pit road. You see the 20 of Sean Rowe. I believe that's it. Cameron Chandler going to be on pole in Dover. That's a great way for him to start off. Your points leader is on pole. To his outside will be Sean Rowe. Neither of these drivers have ever won at Dover in the Cup Series before, but they're both pretty good, as you can see. Cameron, most notably, one of the best, but still hasn't found victory lane somehow at this racetrack. But that will do it. And like I was saying with Dylan Banks, making his NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series return, your Season 3 Cup Series champion, officially retired from all of iRacing at the end of Season 4, which is last season, but returns tonight to fill in for Davian Tobin, who's in the garage. Tobin has some sort of issue going on, and unfortunately he will not make it yet again. So you're going to see Dylan Banks in the rewrapped 24 car for tonight. How about that? As we welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season number 5 race in Dover. All right, hang on. We are live from Dover Motor Speedway tonight. Look at the pace car head on there. But this is Dover. Let's go through your starting spots. Cameron Chandler, like we said, on pole for the 100th NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race all time. Sean Rowe will be starting to his outside. For number 2, you got teammates, winner last season here at Dover, Braden Hunsicker, and then the 7 car, all-time wins leader in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, Matthew White starts 4th. Season 3 winner at Dover, Aiden Donnie will start 5th, and the driver looking to be the first ever one to sweep 3 races in a single week in their league in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Bryce Vincent will start 6th. Winner in that incredible race last week at Pocono, Richard Cherry will start 7th. Payson Lindsay needs points, so does Trenton Wilk, and they will start 8th and 9th. And really good starting spot for Andrew Stacy for the second straight, or for another week here. He'll be starting in 10th to get the rest of the top 20, and then the rest of the field continuing after that on the left side of your screen scrolling. Well, here we go in Dover. 200 laps, 200 miles, halfway break at the end of lap 100. Field window, you about 65 to 70, so they're going to have to pit at least once in this first half if we ran completely green. Ready to see cars just about to roll off pit road from Dover. Sean Hilquich, I don't know if he, let me check real quick. He just said
he left because of packet loss, so he'll miss the start here.
That's unfortunate for Hilquich. That's exactly what it does not need. That's a connection issue. You can return easily, usually. So he's back. He's okay. That's good news for him. He's back right now. So
he's kind of hopes for early caution here, get him back in. He has to start in the pits. Probably be close to the lap down when he comes off. So hoping for an early yellow so he can get back in the field.
We had a caution lap 1 last night, but that was the only caution last night in Grand National. Cars roll off of pit road here in Dover. Only 23 tonight, a little bit down of what we see in this season. Maybe average about 27, 28, but it's Dover. I mean, some drivers don't exactly love this racetrack. They're part-time. You're going to see a ton of cars next week in the Charlotte 600. I can guarantee you that. For both Grand National and Cup, and probably iCar as well. It's a very popular race as always for the Charlotte 600. Just cars will come down to pit road. They'll check pit road speed, check their pit boxes, and more here in Dover. Alrighty. Cameron Chandler here on pole, though. What a season he's had for points-wise. Only 1 win this year, though, so far, but looks to maybe get his 2nd of the year. Would be his 2nd in 3 races after he won his first race of the year in Rockingham 2 races ago. Alrighty. And then, of course, most notably, Dylan Banks returns to the Cup Series. He starts 14th, filling in for Davian Tobin. These cars pull onto the racetrack. Sean Hilquich is going to have to start from pit road. Fortunately for him. I believe we're going green this time, but I don't know why it's sitting.
Next lap.
Okay. So.
And Sean Hilquich, he gets his pit box on the start.
Hilquich, you can see on pit road right now. It's still to green.
Yep, still to green.
All right. So they will roll down through 3 and 4, and they will come down the front straightaway here in Dover. Cameron Chandler will elect the outside to start this race. Choose cone for the rest of the drivers going to be on the restarts, and of course that is always as always down the front straightaway. It's the 100th all-time race in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, and you see some drivers with gold paint schemes or gold rims celebrating that. Drivers that are doing that is your pole star Cameron Chandler, Bryce Benton for his teammate, and then you see gold rims out of the 09 of John Butler, the 71 of Cole Clausen, and then a gold paint scheme for the 36 of William Braken. And Sean Hokich has some gold on him as well, but that's his usual paint scheme, so I don't really know if that counts. But what are we going to see tonight from your return from your champion Dylan Banks? It's the first race this season we've had every single NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series champion in the race. Of course, Matthew White, Braden Hunsicker, Cole Clausen, and now Dylan Banks. All 4 of them are here and ready to go in Dover. It's a star-studded lineup tonight, and only 23 cars, but a lot of them are stars. There are no rookies. Well, there actually is some rookies, but no inexperienced drivers, I should say, in this field tonight. Well, here we go. Race number 10 of the Cup Series season from the Monster Mile. Most importantly, the 100th NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race of all time. What are we going to see tonight? From Dover Motor Speedway, pace car is in. Cameron Chandler up on the outside lane. He will elect the top to lead us to the green flag with Sean Rowe on the bottom. The Cup Series in Season 4 is racing for the Monster Mile. Green flag in the air. We're underway in Dover. Terrible restart from Matthew White up in the outside lane as they head down the back straight over the opening time. Cameron Chandler already clear for the lead. Rowe in second place. That's 77 Hunsicker down up in the third. White fell back 2 positions. So they head through 3 and 4 for the opening time. Cameron Chandler looks like he's going to lead lap 1. You got Aiden Donahue in the bottom of Bryce Benton. Those two got together early in Phoenix a few weeks ago as they head back into 1 and 2 here. There on the bottom of Matthew White. He's very loose again. Now you've got Cherry who's outside. These two battled for the win last week in Pocono. Side by side back to routes 3 and 4 here.
Oh, there goes somebody. That's the first yellow. Oh, maybe he saved
McMillan. McMillan's got damage a little bit, and he's going to spin again. It might cause a caution. No, we're going to stay green, I believe.
Still green.
Sean Hokich, by the way, is on the racetrack, still in the lead lap. Stay green here. I don't know if Quayle got any damage from that, but McMillan spins as we will come to lap 4 this time by. Single file throughout most of the field. If you look at this wide view, see Trent Wilkin there, the bumper of Andrew Stacy makes his way to the inside. McMillan actually reset the pit road. That's an unfortunate start to him in his race. Continues to lead here in Dover. You see a bit of a battle there. Ashton Miller to the inside of John Butler in the 09. Miller started outside the top 10. So you got Wilkin there on the low side of Andrew Stacy. And also, most importantly up front, side by side between the 9 and the 77, Braden Hunsicker and Bryce Benton. Gaining spot in Hunsicker is in 3rd. Of course, tire saving going to be so important early stages here at Dover. Battle for the lead and maybe beginning to heat up between Sean Rowe and Cameron Chandler. A little bit further back now. Some sort of side-by-side battle. I was wrong. Top 10 look all content so far. There is Ashton Miller. He needs to drive his way through the field. Or at least inside of the top 10. Here he is, the 09 of John Butler. His rear bumper for 11th place. Great to start Ashton's week so far. He qualified down in 13th. Seven laps now underway here in Dover. Cameron Chandler has led them all. You see 99 of Pace and Lindsay running 8th. Top 7 kind of all under a blanket here. Now Miller looks to the inside of Butler. No, he's not. He's pulling back in line. The racetrack goes Matthew White. First car we see running the outside lane early in the race. He's going to have a run, I believe, on Bryce Benton. Oh, we got our spinning! John Butler down the front straightaway in the wall! Wow! And the caution's out for the first time tonight. That is exactly, if you're John Butler, the way you don't want to start your race. And the first yellow of the night comes out on the 9th lap. Unbelievable for John Butler. I don't know if there was contact with him and Ashton Miller. You'd never see this 09 car having a wreck like that. That's very unfortunate. We'll take a look. How this all got started. Oh, yeah, I think there might have been contact. I don't know if it was just air. Let's see. I believe, I don't know. We're going to have to ride along with Ashton Miller here to see what his perspective on this was. Let's ride along with the 79. So John Butler there up the racetrack in the 09 car. He starts getting loose, and I think Miller makes ever slight contact. Look at the driver cam. That's a new angle we have there on Ashton Miller. So it was not really on Miller. Butler just had a moment there. Miller gave him a bit of a shot. Butler probably could have saved the car, but just unfortunate there. Two veterans in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Been here for a while, and they have a bit of an incident there. All right, so I don't think you're going to see anyone pit from the lead, at least. Maybe if you're running outside the top 15. Actually, Cheery, nope, he's going to stay out. Payson Lindsay, nope. Everyone stays. First car down pit road will be Erdman. Nope, he stays. Skull Lawson stays. First car down pit road now, Jacob Quayle. My God. Only took 15 cars. Alrighty. We're under caution number 1 today here in Dover on lap 10, now 11, for John Butler going around. So, Eli, how do you think that run started firing off for you guys here early in the race?
Well, it wasn't too bad. We fell back a little bit because of the wreck early on with Ethan McMillan. Had to back it up, make sure we could get involved. No yellow, but got the yellow now, which is fine. I also helped Sean Hillquist get catch up in the field, but honestly, we're on here, pit, get some fuel. We can stay a little longer if we have to. Tires aren't too bad early on. We saved a little bit there, so we're all right.
So, yeah, of course, this caution I would say definitely helps them a little bit for tire saving. You would still, as they don't hit here, even if they did pit now, they wouldn't be able to make it to the end to the halfway break. I mean, we would still see green flag pit stop. We didn't have a single caution to the end of the halfway here. See John Butler trying to get some damage repair in the 09. Ethan McMillan has been on pit road for a while now. Not really any damage on his car, so I'm not really sure why. Also just saw Jacob Quayle down there. They'll come to the choose for the first time today here in Dover. Outside for Cameron Chandler like that on the initial start. Rowe will choose inside. Hunsicker goes outside. Inside, outside, inside, outside. No, outside for Payson Lindsay. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Ready to get back underway in Dover. Going to be on lap 13.
McMillan is back on track now.
All right, he's 9 laps down, so he is the free pass car technically. There was another caution flag. Okay, well, we got Chandler going to restart here on the top. On the bottom will be Sean Rowe, same sort of thing we start for the initial start of this race. Coming back to green here in Dover on lap 13, working the first caution of the day. Only had 1 caution for cause last night. Maybe it's going to be the same today. I don't really know. Back to green in Dover. Bad restart for the inside of Sean Rowe. And a great restart for the outside, especially Braden Hunsicker and Cameron Chandler. Hunsicker going to be clear on Rowe for second. See the 9 events with a bumper. That 20 car as well. So I don't know where we're going on board with him. Not really sure what we're doing there, camera pack, but there is the 9 car vented to the inside of Rowe. Almost a little bit of contact between these two. Up the race. Oh, Benton, what a save on the inside. Man, that was tight. And Matthew White back here in the 7. He's going way up the racetrack on Benton, battle for 4th. I'm still early in, obviously way early in the day. Ashton Miller almost a little bit. He's there to the inside of Payson Lindsay, but here comes the 9 of Benton to the inside of Rowe for 3rd. Genre will re-clear him. You got Miller trying to still make up positions to finally get himself inside of the top 10. He's inside of Trenton Wilkin there for 9th. He's got Lindsay there. Aiden Donahue is falling back to 7th. Early back here looking at the inside of Dylan Banks for 13th. And I think this is a little bit of a wake-up call for Dylan. I don't think he hasn't raced iRacing in a little bit now. He used to be obviously a top contender. He's a champion. He used to dominate some races, but only running best of 14th right now. Here he goes side by side. Matthew White now working on Bryce Benson. This is the battle for 4th place. Up the road, contact. Benson slides. Oh, he's trying to save that race car. I think, will. My goodness, that's the 2nd time Bryce has been sideways and saves it yet again. I don't think he's going to be too happy, though, with Matthew White. Those two have had some issues in the past, and it might boil over here. I don't know. We're still early in the race. Here's Donahue on the bumper of the 29 car of Cherry. Battle for the lead starting to heat up. Braden Hunsicker has caught Cameron Chandler and is staying in line with him. Winner last season, looking to go for back-to-back wins here at Dover. Braden is. And it would be his first win of the season for your defending series champion. It's kind of hard to believe. Same thing with Aiden Donahue. Now, 18 races combined between those two this season so far. 0 wins apiece. Up the racetrack goes that 12 car Wilkin. He's actually going to allow Ashton Miller, who's inside, who's going to slide up the racetrack at the back out of that gas pedal a little bit. This is his former teammate, Trenton Wilkin. Battle for 9th position right now. Ashton Miller and Wilkin. Also see Benson, he's, like he said, fall back to 8th with all those loose moments he's just had here in Dover. Flying around Dover Motor Speedway in this Gen 4 car in the Cup Series. Dover is I know it's short, but it's a very, very fast racetrack. Kind of like a double the size Bristol, if you will. We're going to go to Bristol in 2 weeks. Riding along now with the 29, Rich Cherry. See Aiden Donahue behind Tim in the 82 car. Up to 6, just past Pace and Lindsay. Top 2 have kind of pulled away. I don't know what we're doing here with those camera angles. Sorry about that. Looking from the blimp, you see Cameron Chandler continuing to lead. Hunsicker 2nd. That 20 car of Chandra kind of falling back. Matthew White in 3rd or 4th. That's not the right angle. Head down the front straightaway yet again. 21 laps complete. We got a battle for position. There's Andrew Stacy. He's got Dylan Banks on his bumper. He got the 97 there of Axel Smith as well. Coming along with Banks. My goodness. What are we doing? Sorry. We're having a couple of issues lately with that, so. Here we go to the inside. Miller on that 12th car, Wilkin. Back on a 1 and 2 they go, side by side. Miller trying to keep his nose in there. This battle for 9th continues. Miller has already gotten into 1 accident today. This will cause now a 2nd one. Even though that first one wasn't majorly his fault. Interested to see, though, who is a long run car, who maybe is a short run car, and maybe have some comers and goers in this race. Coming to 25 laps in to Dover. Lap 25. See, actually a battle. Andrew Stacy got in the wall a little bit in the 96 car. Door to door with that 97 of Axel Smith. Sean Milkovich in 38 is up the racetrack. Probably got lucky with that caution that came out early in the race. He had to start from pit road. Dylan Banks in the whole swarm of this mess. So they made their way back into 3 and 4. They're going to almost try to split each other 3 wide. Oh my goodness, Hilkwich in the wall hard. Down the front straightaway. That is big contact. Everyone looks like to avoid him. Exactly you want to see if you're Sean Hilkwich there in the 30. He has big damage now. Oh man. He's still rolling. And there isn't any sparks coming from his race car. I'm interested to see if he just tries to hope for a caution coming up soon. Maybe he stays on the racetrack. I don't know. That was a big shot in the wall. Somehow everyone avoids him. Luckily they do.
I'm down pit road.
That is unfortunate, though, for Sean Hillquist. Not the way you would start off your race early in Dover. We see 50 Barrel being very aggressive, like he always is. From the middle here. John Butler in the 09 as well to the inside. There's teammates Ethan McMillan still 9 laps down right now. Looking up front real quick. Still the battle between the lead is between that 8 car of Cameron Chandler and that 77 of Braden Hunsicker. They go single file for most of the top 10. First car now trying in the outside lane is that 71 of Cole Clausen running in 18th. Navarone coming. Oh, he's the wall. I mean, I don't get pushing this early in the race like they're doing right now back here. They're running outside the top 15, and they are just absolutely pushing their race cars. Saw what happened to Sean Hillquist.
What they could be doing is they push early, and then they pit road. Mason the stage or hit early here, but again, I don't understand pushing early.
I mean, all the guys up front, they are saving away like they always do. I feel like Connor Haverhill is kind of becoming a roadblock for John Butler and others. Right here. We're having a hard time getting around him. Dylan Banks has made his way up to 11th place, by the way. Gotten through all this mess that was heading on. He's, of course, a veteran in the Cup Series, multi-time winner, champion, of course. And first Cup Series race back this season for Ethan Trendler Racing. There's Bryce Benton currently running in 8th in the 9. The lowest he's run all week. It's like so many laps between iCar and Grand National combined. But of course had that very loose moment twice early in this race. Falling back to 8th place. Conroe is kind of falling back 1.3 seconds. Chandler has pulled away a little bit over Braden Hunsicker. Lap 33 we go in Dover. I was talking to Eli, he said tire wear was pretty significant here at Dover Motor Speedway with this Cup car. So as we see John Muller move to the inside of his teammate here for 14th place on Knox Thompson. Too many battles going on here. Basically there on the bumper of Cherry. Cherry at the moment there out of that number 29 car. And Lindsay trying to close up to his bumper. We look on pit road real quick. We see Sean Hillquist still sitting there. Big damage on his 30 machine. This, I don't know if it's going to be day over or what, but this is significant damage out of his race car. So exactly what you don't want to see if you're a Sean Hillquist fan and a fan of ETR. One of the 4 cars already possibly out of the race. Dover's the only racetrack that has those fan bridges, so you can see off the exit of 2 and the entry of 3. They got 2 of them, and of course, always sponsored, one by Exalt, I believe the other one by Ally. We actually got a battle back here between teammates from Team Chevy Motor Club for a minute. Out of them is Aiden Donahue in the 82 car. Matthew Whitehead, a moment out of the 7. He still runs 4th. Aiden Donahue way up the racetrack in 5th, trying to protect on the 29 of Cheery. Matthew White is sideways again. The racetrack again goes that 29 car. Like I said, comers and goers in this race going to be a big thing to watch for Cherry. So good in the long run here at Dover this week so far. Probably could have won the Grand National race if it didn't run out of fuel on the long run there on the final lap. So he's going to be the one to watch as this run, these runs all throughout the race continue to go on. Almost 3 wide there. 2 to the inside. He goes on Donahue. Also got Lindsay maybe trying to squeeze his nose down in there. Jerry falls back in line. He's going to actually be attacked by Lindsay, his teammate. Now Donahue's got that 82 car on his grip on the front bumper. He actually is the Aston Miller catching Bryce Benton. This is a big fall off to the next car. Trent Wilkin about 4 seconds from 10th to, from 9th to 10th. Kind of weird, but all right. Top 9 of kind of all a little bit of a class of their own. Kerry, though, back to the bumper of Donahue. We're going to take this spot away. So got now Benton under attack from that 20 to 79 and Miller. Miller got loose. Going to be side by side, hanging back to 3-4-0. Benton clear on Ashton Miller yet again. It is kind of weird that the gap they pulled now. Dylan Banks has passed his teammate Trenton Wilkin. He's now inside of the top 10. He's slowly but surely learning this racetrack, learning this car. You know he's so talented. Having a good race so far in his return, and now inside of the top 10. How about that? Bumper here on Benton. Battle for what is 8th place. And this is a big battle going on now. 3-way battle for 5th between Donahue, Cheery, and that's 99. Okay, so Lindsay. Car up the racetrack. That was Aiden Holmes. He is slow. Not exactly sure what's going on with him. Way off the pace all of a sudden. Now Cheery to the inside here on Donahue. For 5th. For stage points up for grabs at the end of lap 100. Still a ways away, and there's still, of course, a pit stop coming before that actually happens. They cannot make it to the... Oh, car on the wall. Aiden holds the lap machine. He's got to get out of the way. My goodness. I don't know what he's doing. That's kind of embarrassing. And that 42 car. He's on the wall again. Now with Ashton Miller, who passed Bryce Benton, by the way, for 8th. Benton back to 9th. Struggling a little more than he has in Grand National and iCar so far this week. So the inside of the lap car looking to put him a lap down. Just that. Way up the right, checking the wall. Goes that 99 and pacing Lindsay a little bit through 1 and 2. Trying a very high line. Nearly was catastrophic there behind Cheery. Up front, the gap's still about 0.3 of a second between leader Cameron Chandler and second place Braden Hunsicker. Here's the 82 of Aiden Donahue way up the racetrack. He goes trying to defend on Cheery. Run down the front straightaway. Where will he take it? He'll go outside. Cheery will go through 1 and 2. Donahue will run a little bit of a lower line. Cheery looking to carry some momentum. He's going to actually get to the outside of Aiden. Down the back straightaway. To take P5. Through turns 3 and 4. And he is clear to 5th. As this race goes on, the groove will continue to widen out. I would have to imagine.
That's first come down pit road, CJ Ehrman.
All right, that 94 car a little bit early. There he comes. So, well, actually say very early. Kind of a interesting strategy call there, coming to lap 50.
And Sean Hillquich is back on track.
All right, so he's going to have to just try to salvage his day. 22 laps down right now in last place, so not a whole lot you can do there.
Even with the damage, you're going to see a major tire difference on Hillquich. I mean, it's Trent Wilkin down there.
All right, so that's another ETR machine. Here he is in the 12. So drivers starting to make their way to pit road here a little bit earlier than we could have expected. That was a moment out of Aiden Donahue. He got really loose. Now he's got Payson Lindsay who's inside. How will this force the hand of the leaders? This is a little bit early, I would say. We're only halfway now, just over halfway in the stage. I don't know about this yet. I mean, if you pit now, you can make it to the end on fuel on the stage. It'll be a little bit close, but pretty much okay. As you see Cheery, like I said, long run suiting him. So Haverilla, he's pitting with Knox Thompson. So cars outside of the top 10 starting to pit. Here, just passed Matthew White for 4th place. So, like I said, that 29 car is quick on the long run. Great Hunsinger falling back here. He actually, I don't know if he hit the wall. I don't know if that's damaged or not. Not really sure. He's just falling back to Sean Monroe. Way falling back on Cameron Chandler. Now is a 1.4 second lead. Go to pass Eli, who unfortunately goes lap down in his Cup debut. So just trying to learn here on all the laps. He finished 12th last night in Dover here in Grand National. He's coming to pit road. And Aiden Donahue is pitting as well. So one of your first-year leaders is coming to pit road. You got to make sure you get to it. You don't want to hit the pit barrels like your Cole Wilson. You don't want to speed as well. One of the hardest pit roads to get to under green here at Dover. Darlington is probably the hardest. This might be second. And Aiden Donahue comes to service his race car. How will this work out? We're going to see undercuts and overcuts here. Also got Cole Clausen pitting. You got C.J. Urban pitting. Anyone else back here pits? No, none of your leaders yet. John Butler, he continues to stay out. There we go. Cars on pit road, Aiden Coles as well. And now the 66 of Franklin will roll off the pits. We're going to see new tires, obviously be way quicker than the old tires. And this could shake up the grid a little bit with drivers pitting at different times. Look at Cameron Chandler, he's just pulling away. Also, Bryce Benton pitted in the 9. So we're going to see now these fresh tires in the 9 car. Looking to just pull away from everyone. You see Braden Hunsinger falling back. He actually does have some damage on the right side of that race car. He's getting passed by his teammate Matthew White for 4th place. Oh, contact between these two team cars at High Line. And I got Payson Lindsay on the bumper of them. You know, Hunsinger was running second. He has fallen back with that damage. That's, I don't know when he got that. Obviously hit the wall a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit. Also got Jacob Quayle on pit road. Erdman, that was an extended stop. He went just 5 laps down all of a sudden. I don't know what happened to C.J. Erdman. Cole's coming off 3 wide. Look at the 66 on fresh tires. Eli, he is just absolutely flying. You can see it. You can compare now with Pace and Lindsay. And Eli got lapped on pace. He's going to be on the bumper of Lindsay here and just probably fly around him in a minute. Also McMillan pitting. He's 10 laps down anyways, though. Yeah, look at him. Just absolutely drive around him. That's how much tires mean in this race. So now a little bit of a lull going on. Oh, in the wall. Braden Hunsinger again. He is really struggling. And Wilkin on fresh tires coming way up on these guys. It's going to be interesting. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Got John Butler, Dylan Banks pitting, Andrew Stacy as well. Hunsinger is struggling big time now in that 77 car. Kind of similar to what we had in Rockingham with him. Hit the wall, falling back, and this is earlier in the stage. So I would expect him to bring the pit road in a minute. Any minute now. Surprised he hasn't. Stay out yet again. Oh, the wall. So what these guys that just pitted don't want to see now is a caution. That would be detrimental to them. They want to see this cycle finish out. Here he is, absolutely flying. And now Sean Rose pitting in the 20. And also got Payson Lindsay as well. Braden Hunsinger now finally breaks to the pit road. Oh, he slides in there hot. You don't make sure you don't speed here. It's still early in the race, but that would give up your opportunity for stage points. Here they come down pit road. Alrighty. So now, will this force the hand of a guy like Cameron Chandler? I see Sean Hilkes there on the apron for some reason. See Donahue's continuing to, he already pitted there. There's Chandler with 3 and 4 in the 8 car. He's going to stay out. Let's see Rowe blends out. Here comes, I believe they might be still on pit road actually. There goes the pace of Lindsay. Sean Rowe. Oh, this is actually, this might be a speeding penalty for Sean Rowe. Wow. That is exactly what you cannot afford. Speeding on pit road for the 20 car. Unbelievable. And he's going to serve his penalty right now. I don't know how far he's going to fall back, but he's going to have to hope this isn't too far. And we got Sean Novich again pitting back there in the 30. On pit road again, there's Miller. He continues to stay out. Chandler still is staying out. Sean Rowe is, actually get to him, my God. There he is. Now he's pulling back on the racetrack. Speeding penalty. That is detrimental to the race on the 20 car. He's still got time to recover, but man, not the way you want to start do this in the first half. It's better than doing it in the second half. Look at that. Cameron Chandler. Here he comes in the 8. That will give the lead to Richard Cherry. So Chandler, your leader, pits for the first time tonight on lap 65. So you're going to see how these tires work out. There's Aiden Donahue, just going to blow around him to lap himself here, but he should blow around him and just pass him on the racetrack because he has the undercut here. But as the run goes on, a guy like Cameron with the fresher tires on the long run will eventually come to pass him. So that's the game there. 4 cars you have to pit: Cheery, White, Miller, and Axel Smith. Here comes Ashton Miller on pit road. And there goes Aiden Donahue, just blew around Cameron Chandler, as you can see. But Cameron going to have those fresher tires by about maybe 10 or so laps, and probably going to catch him before the end of the stage, I would imagine. Riding with Aiden. Of course, Sean Rowe speeding on pit road now, 3 laps down, but cycles still haven't concluded, so not exactly sure how that would work out. I don't know if he's going to be the 3-pass car or not. Matthew White is yet to pit as well. Same thing with Cherry. White is staying out, so is Cherry again. Axel Smith. I'm going to look for him in a minute. Trying to find him. There is Chandler. There's Lindsay. There's Axel Smith. We'll see if the 97 fits this time by.
Matthew White's coming this time.
Alrighty. Axel Smith stays out again. See Chandler just passed Lindsay. Lindsay came a little bit earlier, and you can see Lindsay was way behind Chandler, was running about 8th or 9th. Now he's right on the bumper of your former leader. So that's what the undercut does, just by a few laps. Matthew White will pit this time by. You see him on pit road in the 7 car. There he comes. Everyone's done a good job navigating on and off pit road. Only 1 speeding penalty, but it was detrimental to Sean Rowe. And nobody's hit the pit barrels yet, like for Cole Wilson. There is Rowe now, kind of at a bad spot. See what he can do, how many laps he's going to be after this cycle concludes. Aiden Donahue, I believe, will be cycling to the lead. Benson will cycle to 2nd for now. Chandler will cycle to 3rd. That's once Cherry and Smith both pit, but Chandler on much fresher tires than both Donahue and Benson. Coming to 30 to go in the stage this time by. There's Richard Cherry still staying out. Aiden Donahue is going to try to lap himself here in a minute. Imagine Cherry, no, he's going to stay out again. A guy like Cherry, now you're hoping for a caution flag to come out. If that comes out now, you're in a perfect position. Donahue now to the inside of Cherry. So right now, Rowe is being scored 2 laps down. I don't know if he would be the 3-pass car after his pit road speeding penalty.
Here comes your leader.
All right, so Cherry will pit this time by, it looks like. Oh, by the way, we had a car going to the inside at the bottom, Knox Thompson on Aiden Holes. Oh, we got a car. Oh, man. 97 of Axel Smith trying to come to pit road. Nearly had a crash there on the apron. Oh, we have a wreck.
Caution's out.
Oh, my goodness, and it's 2 cars involved, Aiden Holes and Dylan Banks. Wow. We can actually get to the right camera angle, for the love of God.
Now, if Richard Cherry would stay on another lap, that would have been the perfect stretch.
Someone, I believe Aiden Hole, not too happy with Sean Rowe. Let's see what happens here. So this is an interesting timed caution, to say the least. So let's take a look. So here's Aiden Hole's on the outside. You saw a checkup by 36, and then, oh yeah, Rowe just runs straight into the back of him. That's unfortunate. And Dylan Banks also gets collected. Wow. Brings out our second caution of the day. Let's ride along with Sean Rowe. I don't know if he was trying to avoid that or not, just coming in too hot, couldn't do it. Let's ride along with him. Here he is. He cuts back down. But yeah, he's off the gas for sure. Just not enough time to react, unfortunately. That'll cause the second yellow of the night. So Chandler is for some reason being scored to your leader. We got, well, actually, cars on pit road here. Hits Aiden Donahue. Hits. What's going on right now with timing and scoring? This is a weirdly timed caution. But yeah, I have Aiden Donahue on pit road. Bryce Benson both on pit road. They're both going to put on an extra set of tires here. This is, I don't know how this is going to go. You also got Pace and Lindsay now rolling off of pit road. So Chandler is being scored your leader right now. Franklin, Thompson, Quayle, Stacy, Banks, Rowe both scored a lap down. So I don't know what's going to go on with them.
Coming to choose this time.
Okay, I don't know if they're going to be able to wave around here. I'm not really, I think they're going to actually get the wave around. That's, I think, what's going to happen here. So the leader's pitted and they're not. That should be back on the lead lap for Sean Rowe, which that's lucky after his pit road speeding penalty. That's very lucky. Okay. And there he is, getting back to the lead lap, coming to the shoes as well behind them. Not going to have a ton of cars to choose here. We see the cars unlapping themselves. Okay, Matthew White is going to restart at 11th here. Kind of, it's just all this weird pit strategy comes, caution comes out at a weird time, right at the end of pit cycle. So we're going to restart here with 25 to go to the stage end here. You know, everyone in relatively fresh tires. I don't know why. Oh, actually, I think those guys are now 2 laps down, or 2 laps down. Now they're 1 lap down. Pretty sure that's what happened. I don't think they're going to be back on the lead lap. Thompson, Quayle, Stacy, Banks, Rowe, and others are being scored a lap down. They're kind of weird. I don't know. We're going to come to the restart this time by on lap 76 in Dover. So we had a long run there. This is the second caution of the day. Cameron Chandler takes the lead back away. I think this all works out nicely for Cameron. Get ready for this restart. The second restart of the day. Coming back. The green flag. Here we go. Back underway in Dover. Now some wheel spin to the inside of Ashton Miller. Coming out of line. Right after the front start-finish line like you can do. Oh, contact! And Pace and Lindsay smell! Oh my God, are you kidding me? Bryce Benson involved. Pace and Lindsay wrecks. He got destroyed, and now the 12 car of Trent Wilkin. Man. Unbelievable, and Bryce Benson with damage. I mean, I gotta see where that started. Third caution of the day comes out here in Dover. Just look from
Looks
this.
like Trent Wilkin will be done.
Oh man, that's his third straight DNF. Are you kidding me? So, I mean, Lindsay just gets destroyed by his teammate Bryce Benson. I mean, with the Shin 4 car, I don't understand why you, with a little bit of contact like that, completely turns you around. That needs to be fixed immediately. I don't care if it's realistic. That needs to be fixed. It's pretty pathetic. So let's ride along with Bryce Benson here. Oh, yeah, you contact with John Butler, and then a checkup, and then around goes Lindsay. Unfortunate, and nowhere to go for Trenton Wilkin. Wow. Our first big incident here in Dover. This is another really timed caution. You see damage to these 3. Wilkin, I don't know if he's going to be good. Oh, he's going to have to try to repair this thing. He's speeding down pit road, so clearly angry. Wow. Matthew White just told me to go on board with him through this accident. We'll see real quick. Take a look at what he's talking about. Oh, wait, hang on. So here we go. Oh my God! Lord! How did he make it through that? He might have gotten a tiny bit of damage. I don't really know. His car looks okay, I think. And third caution of the day comes out here at Dover. Now Bryce Benson, who is already down now a tire set, has damage on his 9 car. So does Payson Lindsay. Don't know if Payson pitted or not. Here comes Dylan Banks off pit road. Andrew Stacy, they both have some damage. Just trying to have to stay in the lead lap. We're coming to the shoes this time by. I mean, I'm shocked here. Teammates crash. We still have drivers that are being trapped a lap down. So Lindsay's now a lap down for some reason. Alrighty, well, we're gonna come to 21 to go to the stage break here in Dover. Nice if we run it 3 to the end. That'd be cool. Trent Wilkin, I believe. I don't know if he's on the racetrack or not. I don't think he is.
Trent Wilkin has disconnected, lost your internet, so either way, he's out of the session.
Wow. So unfortunate. 3 DNFs in a row after finishing top 3 in Phoenix. That momentum killed after that, unfortunately. All right, here we go. Ready for the restart on lap 80 in Dover. Still got cars trapped a lap down, so I don't really, we're going to have to see how this all plays out. Back to green, though, at Dover Motor Speedway. An amazing restart after Cameron Chandler. The inside and Ashton Miller didn't go at all. Braden Hunsaker, who's still trying to manage that damage that he got from hitting the wall on the bottom. Got Cherry in the 29 up in the outside lead. They will head down the back straightaway. Turns 3 and 4. You see Aiden Donnie on the 82 up the racetrack. Got, contact Axel Smith to the inside of Matthew White. Back out the gas there. Nearly pretty big collision just had. Hunsaker on the bottom. I don't think the 77 car is handling very well. He is still struggling. But Axel Smith back here. How about Axel Smith inside of the top 10? All this weird sequence of events with the cautions and whatnot has kind of saved them, put them inside the top 10 tonight. We have 3 wide, by the way, down on the 1 and 2. Haverill in the middle, Kloss on the outside, and I got Bryce Benson coming up way on base. Haverill has got to back out of the gas so to not crash into Cole Clausen. Benson is on fresher tires, remember that. Still with that damage, but it's actually flying to the fields right now with those fresh tires. He's up to now 9th place. Here's Sean Rowe. Still, though, trapped a lap down. He wants to be the free pass car. He is the free pass car right now. Luckily for him. Once the stage break would come out, that is the next caution. Of course, speeding on pit road, Thompson, Quayle, Franklin, Stacy, Lindsay, and others. Most importantly, Lindsay, all being trapped a lap down. Even without all this, they would have to stay out at the stage break, which I don't know if you would really want to do that here at Dover. Take the wave around. Almost contact side by side between the 97 of Smith and the 77 of Hunsaker. This is a battle for 6th place. Axel Smith having a great run all of a sudden. Really, it's 1 top 10 this year, but looking really well right now here at Dover. He's got 1 top 10, but a lot of top 15 finishes. battle for the lead could be starting to heat up now with 15 to go in the stage. With Cameron Chandler and Richard Cheery. Cameron, of course, has led the most laps so far today. Started on pole. But he's got Cheery who's inside for the race lead. Here comes the 29 up front. Door to door, back in a 1 and 2. First time anyone's challenged Cameron on track for the lead. As they head side by side down this back straightaway. Cheery's going to fall back in line. Chandler will re-clear him again. And he will slide up the racetrack. You got Ashton Miller running in 3rd. Hayden Donahue 4th. Matthew White 5th. Smith, Hunsicker, Benson, Butler, and Clausen, your top 10. Kind of a weird top 10 for the second half of it. Let's see, there's the 9 of Hunsicker, or the 9 of Benson, I should say, to the inside of the 77 Hunsicker on those fresher tires. With that damage still, he is flying. And Axel Smith up to 6th place.
I also got to think they use this nice set of tires.
Here we go, battle for the lead up front. Sorry, Eli. Cheery just passed Cameron Chandler, and now Chandler's under pressure from the 79 of Ashton Miller. How about that? Chandler, though, trying to fight back on the inside lane on that 29 car. Down the backstretch, he is there again, side by side, but he's going to maybe back out of the gas, and no, he's not. He's going to drive it back to the inside. 3-way battle for the lead up front in Pocono. Or, no, Dover. This is not Pocono. My God. Cheery, though, clear for the race leader winner last week in Pocono. Now battle for 2nd. Here comes Ashton Miller to the outside of that 8-car of Cameron Chandler. He is clear to 2nd place. Hayden Donahue back there to 4th. Matthew White, he is 5th. Chandler, all of a sudden, pace falling off, coming to 10 to go on the stage. And Payson Lindsay is off the pace now. He's going to be put 2 laps down, I think. There he is in the 99. He is very slow. Still managing that damage, but got the worst of it. We were talking about Bryce Benton. His front end is, wallowing there. That 99 car is very, very slow right now, as you can tell. About a 9 to go in the stage here in Dover. Benson now in the bumper row knocks Thompson a lap down. 3 fast car is Sean Rowe, and then you got a bunch of cars still trapped, like I said, a lap down. I don't know what they're going to have to go for. They might have to stay out in the stage, which doesn't really seem too possible if you think about it. Oh, Ashton Miller got loose. Contact with him and Cameron Chandler. Now Hayden Donahue in the battle for 2nd place. With Cheery just pulling away in that 29 machine. Chandler to the outside lane. Donahue there on the bottom of the 82. Chandler, though, back to the inside, though, on Miller. Got 2 Showtime Motorsports cars he's sandwiched in between. Chandler on the outside again. Hayden Donahue looking to wrap that bottom line to his quarter panel. Going to go down the back straightaway. They also lap Andrew Stacy, who also is slow.
Caution's out.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Could possibly be. It's Payson Lindsay. Oh, he just gets ran over by his teammate Bryce Benton. I don't know what that was. Okay. So now what are we going to see? This makes it interesting. If the leaders pit, those lap cars can all stay out, get their laps back. Here we go. Yeah, Benton doesn't really even try to lift there. I'm not really sure what that was. All right. The caution is out again here in Dover. I would call that a medium-sized run we just had. Now the yellow is out with 6 to go. This makes... Oh, and then we got teammates beefing with each other. Bryce Benson and Payson Lindsay are not happy with each other right now. They're begging doors, and Payson is extremely angry at his own teammate. It's got to be an interesting Monday morning, or Friday morning in this case, meeting tomorrow. I don't think your leaders will pit, no. This is not good news for those lap cars. Going to restart with about maybe 2 to go, maybe 3 to go in the stage here. Just some cars in the back pitting, but Sean Rowe get the free pass. Next free pass guy will be Knox Thompson. We have another bunch of a group of guys that are a lap down right now behind them. So everything was running smooth up until the caution came out at the end of pit cycles. We've had now 2 yellows since then. Nearly to the halfway break. Cherry hold on to win the stage here. All right, so we're going to come to the shoes this time by in lap 97. We'll restart in lap 98. It'll be 3 to go to the stage here. And outside being chosen by the 29 Cheery. You see outside back there Chandler, who was just leading the race earlier, of course, now. It's the day he's wanted. I don't know what they're doing here. There's Sean Rowe getting his lap back in the 20. Okay.
Now we have a battle here for the free pass between Jacob, Knox, and me here.
That should get interesting there. It'll be 3 to go. Battle for the stage win and the battle for the free pass. Sean Rowe definitely happy when he gets the free pass.
Jacob on fresh tires, Knox on old tires, so we'll see how it goes.
There's Pace and Lindsay rolling back on the track. Currently 2 laps down. Stacy's 2 laps down. Erdman is 3 down. But here we go. Ready for the restart in Dover. We have Richard Cherry on the outside lane, Ashton Miller on the inside. 3 to go in the stage. This will be the final restart before the green white checker flag guaranteed. Here we go to finish the stage in Dover. Got a little bit messy here over the last few laps. After we had a long run early on. Back to green on lap 98. A little bit of wheel spin almost looked at Cherry's car. That allows Miller to keep it to his inside. Side by side, Ashton Miller on the bottom looking to clear Richard Cherry. Cherry, though, fighting back on the outside lane. Miller, though, on the bottom. He's going to drive it up the corner and not clear yet. Here's Cherry fighting back on the top. Through turns 3 and 4, side by side. What can Donahue do back there as well? Cherry wraps the high line and re-clears Miller. Now Ashton's teammate, Aiden Donahue, comes to the inside of him for second. Got Cameron Chandler also in line in the 8 car. Miller gonna fall back to third, maybe even fourth with their Chandler as well on the bottom. There he is, starting to pull away. Coming to 1 to go in the stage, this time by Matthew White back there in fifth. Axel Smith still running in 6th. Final lap in the stage. And Sean Rowe on fresh tires may get stage points here. He is flying. Final lap in the stage here in Dover. Door to door for 3rd place. Between Chandler and Miller. We go down the backstretch one more time in this stage. Donahue up front. Maybe not going to have enough to challenge that 29 car of Cherry. There's a win last week in Pocono. Now it'll be a stage win to start off in Dover. Richard Cherry going to win the stage in Dover. Donahue 2nd, Chandler 3rd. Battle across the line. Miller gets 4th, 5th, 6th. And across the line they go. The caution is out for the stage. 5th, Matthew White. 6th, Smith. Rowe gets 7th on those fresh tires. So impressive. Benson, Hunsicker have earlier top 10. We'll be right back here in Dover. Welcome back live at Dover Motor Speedway under the halfway break currently, and we got leaders coming up pit road. Oh, somebody stays out. That's Aiden Donahue. He's going to stay. So now force the hand on maybe some of your lap down cars to stay. I don't know. So Rose stays too. He pitted earlier for tires. So these are drivers that need to save a set. You see, oh yeah, we're seeing Quayle stay out. He's a lap down. Franklin Thompson, Thompson actually, I believe, pits. I believe Quayle got the free pass, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. So at least majority of your leaders down pit road here. But it really makes things weird here due to some of the cautions we saw after the long green flag run. All right, well, setting up for the second half in Dover. Gonna have to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, as much fuel as possible. This will make the fuel situations a little bit different. Same thing with the tire situations. Off pit road first will be Richard Cherry. Second gonna be Cameron Chandler. Just beats out Ashton Miller for third. Smith still holding nicely in fourth. You see Matthew White rolling off. I think Hunsicker taking this opportunity to repair some damage on the 77 car. Let's try to contend for this win for the second straight year. Same thing with the 9 car at Benton and Payson Lindsay. He's still 2 laps down. See others on pit road trying to maybe repair a bit of damage. Baden Donahue will now have the lead. Sean Rowe will be second. Dylan Banks, he'll be third. He stays out as well. Clausen stays out. First car on the freshest tires will be Cherry in 5th. Okay. See actually Eli coming to pit road here in 66. So, yeah. Eli, what did you think about your first half of Cup Series action here? Some long green flag runs, a couple of cautions there.
I thought it was pretty good early on. I thought we had a chance there to get the free pass there, but restart, they got an outside lane checked up, and then Jacob just took away, and we just kind of just waited around to save a set of tires so we can just take fuel here. Hope for an early caution, maybe get a lap back.
We'll see how this all goes. All right, ready for the second half in Dover. You're going to have Donahue chooses the outside lane on Sean Rowe. He'll be on the bottom.
And it's showing Hunsinger a lap down.
Wow. Oh. Well, he was on pit road for a while. And he's going to be scored a lap down, I think. Oh, my goodness. That is detrimental to Braden Hunsicker. You kidding me? Cannot make that mistake if you're him. Sitting on pit road for way too long. Still got a lot of cars trapped a lap down. Okay. Well, here we go for the restart. Going to be on lap 105. 96 to go in Dover. Still a lot of time for things to happen. 4 cars stay out. First car on freshest tires is Cherry and Chandler on that, I believe, third row. Here we go. Donahue Rowe back to green in Dover for this second half. Not a great restart for the inside. Oh my goodness, Cameron Chandler wrecks. Oh my God, and he gets slammed by Jacob Quayle. Braden Hunsicker's in it. Ashton Miller's in it. Matthew White's in it. Oh my God, what happens? Knox Thompson got damaged. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
You have a moment. Look at my one point there. I don't know how it got so bad.
What just happens? I haven't seen that for these kind of drivers in forever. Drivers like Cameron Chandler and others. I don't know what it was. It was, oh God, Clausen checks up and then Miller runs into the back of him. Then Matthew White runs to the back of Miller and Chandler gets slammed. Braden Hunsicker involved. Oh, I don't even know what to say. That is unbelievable. Cameron Chandler, he has huge damage on that 8 car. Let's ride along with him. This changes everything. Absolutely everything in this race. Clausen just doesn't go that well, but then Miller ran over Cameron Chandler, who then gets ran over by, I believe, Matthew White. I mean, this is a classic restart wreck on Dover, but comes at a costly moment here. Restart here. Again, you see Chandler. I mean, Clausen doesn't. He gets okay. Well, he hits the wall there, and then kind of checks up, and then that was it. Never really gets a piece of it. He slides. You see big damage out of the 9 at Benson as well. Braden Hunsicker, actually, I didn't see that. He got hit big time. Oh my goodness, this is just awful. This is detrimental. I don't even know what to say at this point. This changes absolutely everything for this race. Unfortunately, that's a lot of good contenders out. I don't know if they're going to be out, but with huge damage at least. All trying to get it repaired here. I mean, man, honestly, that sucks. Chandler, Hunziker, Benton, White, Miller, who has big damage. He's missing a wheel. He's probably done. God. All right. Just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Ashton Miller has left, so his night is done.
Wow. I mean,
And Cameron Chandler seems like he's done 8 minutes of damage.
unbelievable. I mean, this is the biggest story I think we've had all season for your top contenders. That Bryce Benson, it looks okay actually. He rolls off. Who's even left? I don't know. This sucks. We're gonna see Donahue choose the outside row on the outside here. That was all kind of started by Cole Clausen, but man, are you kidding me? You see Chandler actually rolling off. Same thing with every Quayle, White, Yonah, Butler. Now there's Hunziker rolls off as well. They're gonna try here. They're not retiring. And they're just not the kind of drivers to retire like this. They're going to try to do something, but they're in a bad spot now. All right, we have a million cars trying to catch up to the end of the longest line here. But man, I don't think I've ever seen this before where at least 70% of our race contenders here just get destroyed like that. Those are the guys to watch all throughout the first half. And now, here in the second half, they are destroyed. We're not out of it yet, though. Still in the lead lap, but with huge damage. This is going to be an interesting next 90 or so laps to finish off this race. Oh, hey, Dylan Banks. What happened on the restart from your perspective?
A lot of chaos.
Clearly. My God. All right, come back to the restart. 109. Unbelievable moment here. Probably one of the most chaotic moments we've seen, one of the biggest storyline maybe we've seen in the Cup Series so far this year. But restart, Aiden Donahue up front. You see Sean Rowe in second. Is this a good opportunity now for Donahue to maybe pull away with his first win of the season? Rowe, though, is going to be a strong contender as well, and also Cherry. There still are a lot of contenders in this race. Can't count out Dylan Banks either, Season 3 Cup Series champion. Now we're looking at drivers like Cameron Chandler. There he is, trying to get back up the pace. Matthew White as well in the 7th. They don't look awful, to be honest. I mean, this could actually be worse for these guys.
Fun being up in the broadcast booth and racing. Fun.
I know. See Aiden Donahue continuing the lead, coming in 90 to go in Dover.
Hey, go Birds.
Yep, go Birds. Here we go to the inside. Battle between Cole Clausen and almost contact with the 9 of Benton. Oh, there is contact. Way up the racetrack goes that 71 car. You also get passed by Axel Smith. Clausen back to 8th. And Bryce Benton on those fresh tires. I don't know how, for the second straight wreck, that car is okay. I'm shocked.
Hey, Ethan, whatever points I get tonight, can I go to Ethan for the race?
Yeah, you're signed with my team no matter what, for every race. Unless you say it otherwise. Connor Havrilla running in 5th. And that is an incredible run, and taking advantage of the attrition that we've just seen. He needs this exact run tonight, and needs to finish somewhere here inside of the top 5 and take advantage of this incredible opportunity for Havrilla. Battle for second, sheer to the inside of Rowe for P2. Rowe will reclear Richard Cherry for recovering from that speeding penalty he had in the first half. Get back here. I want to look at Cameron Chandler real quick. He's still running. So is Matthew White. Got the 09 of John Butler. Here's Braden Hunziker. He's just trying to hold on. The 99 pace and Lindsay doing the same thing. Got Stacy back here. There's Jacob Quayle. And a run. And now Sean Rowe actually challenging that 82 of Donahue for the lead.
Ethan, I've never raced these cars. They're fun.
I know they are. I told you. And here he comes to the outside.
Yeah.
Side by side of the lead between Rowe and Donahue. Cherry coming as well to the top lane. They're nearly going to be 3 wide for the lead. Rowe on the outside, Donahue on the bottom. Door to door, and Donahue might have to give. Sean Rowe takes the lead in Dover. Now for second, Cherry on the outside of Donahue. Donahue falling back to 3rd. I mean, he's on slightly older tires than Cherry. I believe Rowe, but now what he wants to see, losing the lead here on lap 115. I mean, mean, you're talking about this is such a great opportunity for some of these drivers, taking advantage of drivers like Cameron Chandler's issues, Matthew White, Braden Hunsaker, not even Bryce Benton anymore. I don't know how Bryce Benton has survived so far. I really honestly don't know. But he's running inside of the top 5 now on those fresh tires again. But is he now down a set of tires? That's the question. Cabrillo starting to fall back. You're going to still see comers and goers. There is Chandler, the damaged 8 car. And Matthew White, the also damaged 7 car. Braden Hunsaker just trying to hold on. See, Jason Lindsay takes the there are so many cars now with damage after that massive pileup we saw on the front straightaway with a lot of your leaders. Running with Sean Rowe. Got Richard Cherry starting to come on his bumper. Donahue back to 3rd. You see Dylan Banks in 4th now under pressure from the 9 of Bryce Benton. This race, first half, I mean, outside of the couple of cautions we saw there late in the race, long green flag runs, pretty usual guys up front. All of a sudden, this second half turned upside down. I mean, who would have thought? Now this all of a sudden became a race of attrition, the first one we've had in a very long time.
By the way, Ethan, I think me and Sean Rowe did the same thing. We pitted on that last caution before the stage and saved.
All right, so that's...
We're like 2 laps on our tires. I was back in mega saving.
Yeah, so, well, the story about that is Donahue stayed out before, so he's actually on older tires. That's probably why he got passed by both the 29 and the 20. Here is Quayle and Lindsay, but slow. Quayle very slow on the bottom of the racetrack. This might elaborate opportunity for Richard Cherry, and it will. To the inside he goes on Sean Rowe to the bottom. Here comes Cherry, gets caught behind the lap car rotos, and that 29 all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side, through 1 and 2. Almost a little bit of contact between these top 2 as they go side by side down the back straightaway. Lindsay, of course, already a lap down, and now be 2 laps down. Rowe is able to hold the lead for now. So these are going to be some slow cars now with those damage from that big one we saw in the front straightaway. But here comes Cherry, looking inside. No, can't do anything on that 20 car. Of course, now we're over the distance of what the Grand National Series ran last night, where they had 115 laps, 200 tonight. Leaders make their way back into 1 and 2. See Aiden Donahue there still running in 3rd. What a run, though, for Dylan Banks in 4th place in his Cup Series return. Dylan, how's the handling of your race car? I mean, you've taken, of course, advantage of some of this attrition from a lot of your leaders, but you still look like you have a very good race car in the 24.
Yeah, it feels good. Back here just managing my stuff, trying to save that right front. Caught me by surprise a little bit on that green flag run we had on the first stage. Got a meatball around like lap 55, I think it was. So trying to manage and take care of that right front, but keep my track position as well.
Out of the lead, Broga.
Matthew White went to the pit, so I think his day's done.
I don't know if he's going to retire or not. We'll see here. Did he reset? Oh, he's getting tires, actually. I don't think his day is done. He's probably going to still continue to try to run around and score some points. Came to this race 6th in the standings, Matthew White. But your points leader, Cameron Chandler, is doing a nice job still holding on the racetrack.
Matthew White has this.
Oh, wow, that's unfortunate for the driver of the 7. Too much damage to keep going. And a lot of drivers now out of the race from that massive crash on the restart on the front straightaway. Caught us all, I mean, it shocked us all, I feel like. Here though is Cherry back to the bumper of Rowe for the race lead. These guys still have to pit. Can't make to the end on fuel or tires, for that matter. Now Cherry all the way over the bumper of the 20 car of Sean. They both slide around. Now Aiden Donahue actually trying to close this gap back up. Tires maybe starting to even out.
Aiden Donahue about lost it on the front stretch.
I mean, he has been loose all throughout this race. I've seen him early in the race. He nearly wrecked.
Mason Lindsay's front bumper came off.
Oh. Be a massive crash, of course, down the front straightaway. Just changes the complete complexity of this race, and now it's I don't even know what to call this one. It's wide open. You see guys like Cavarilla running in 6th, Smith running in 7th, Clausen running in 8th. Guys that you never see up front usually inside the top 10. Well, besides Clausen, but usually at a track like Dover, you don't see him inside the top 10 or even top 15. Tonight is different. 70 laps to go at Dover Motor Speedway. What are these pit strategies going to look like? Let's see. Wait, if the racetrack goes that 29 of Cherry. Now the bumper of Sean Rowe. Ooh, Rowe gets a little bit loose, heading down the front straightaway. Yeah, Cherry's been hounding the back bumper of that 20 car. And he is looking there to the inside again. Side by side with lead, almost a little bit of contact. He's gonna maybe have to back out of the, oh, he gets loose down the front straightaway. Cherry did. This is now allowing that 82 to close up to the battle. We still have a lot of good cars. I think the top 5 could realistically win this race. Dylan, of course, I mean, I'm assuming you've gotten more comfortable with this race car as the race has gone on?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. It's not better than the next gen, but it's pretty good.
I don't know about that. But anyways, battle for the lead starting to heat up. Maybe going to be 3 cars in a minute with Aiden Donahue. He is back. Of course, lost the lead maybe about 20 laps ago. Now returning to the battle with these top 2 going on. Donahue loose again, really in the wall down the front straightaway. So we'll see how long these leaders stay out before they have their final pit stop of the day. We're catching now Braden Hunsiker, winner here last season. Fortunately for Braden, today is not going to be the day to go to victory lane. I would have thought something like this race of attrition would happen in next week's Charlotte O'Connor, not tonight in Dover. My goodness. And it all kind of stemmed from that one accident. So many leaders destroyed in that. I mean, I would say leaders taken out of win contention just from that accident. Braden Hunsiker, Bryce Benton was nearly taken out. I don't know how he wasn't. Ashton Miller, Matthew White, Payson Lindsay got more damage. So did Cameron Chandler. I mean, really insane. They'll catch Jacob Will again, who was very slow back in the 3 and 4. Donahue's kind of settled in back in 3rd. Rowe hasn't been challenged by Cherry in a couple of laps for the lead. Trying to run down this back straightaway though. Conroe's been doing a good job defending. Back in the 3 and 4, you see Cherry way up the racetrack. What a story would be if Richard Cherry could somehow get 2 straight wins.
Back to back.
That would be unbelievable. So winning his first ever race in Pocono last week. We go to lap Cherry, or Lindsay, I should say, again. To lap 140 we go in Dover. Starting to come now to nearly the final quarter of this race. They're going to catch Cameron Chandler here in the 8. He will possibly in a minute fall a lap down. This got no front nose, so just trying to do the best he can. And they're about to lap inside of the top 10. That just shows what that wreck did. And here we go to the inside. Richard Cherry back on Sean Rowe. Side-by-side contact. Back into 1 and 2. Here comes Donahue. Rowe maybe not too happy with that 29 of Cherry making those banging doors like that. Cameron Chandler moves out of the way in the 8th. Ooh, again, they slide around. There's Cherry. He's very loose down the front straightaway. Aiden Donahue's been just waiting and being patient in the 3rd place position right now. Top 3, nose to tail. Here's Cherry outside defensive line in a 1 and 2 for that 20 of Rowe. Cherry's got big momentum coming off corner exit. He's going to make a little bit of contact with Rowe and pull it down to the inside through 3 and 4. Nobody's going to slide back up the racetrack.
I know Cherry's having a tough time right now. Once you get side by side with somebody, it gets really, really tight.
Yeah, that's kind of a characteristic of this car at a track like Dover. And here comes that 29 way up the racetrack on Sean Rowe. They're going to catch lap car of Andrew Stacy. How will this go? I think Rowe's going to be actually in a better position. Stacy stays in front of Cherry. Not really too much he can go. Too many places he can go right now. Sean Rowe slides up the racetrack. Here comes Donahue. He's getting to the inside, and he got Cherry in the outside 3-way battle for the lead. Oh, Cherry gets turned by Donahue, making contact, and oh man, no caution. We say green, shockingly. I don't know why there was no yellow there, but we will stay green here in Dover. And that'll give Donahue a second. Rowe now way out front for the lead. And damage for Cherry, but he kept it going. Find where he went.
That wasn't a caution.
There he is in the 29. I mean, no one, I'm honestly, shockingly, iRacing didn't throw a caution for that. Really surprised. Okay. Chandler slow here on the bottom, so now I gotta try to regroup here. There is Rowe with the lead by about 2nd now. Donahue in P2. Bryce Benson, don't look down, but he's in 3rd again. And I feel like in these races, I don't know how that 9 car isn't on the wrecker right now after what he's gone through in this race, but doing a nice job. The contact between 2 leaders, 2 very pretty decent friends off the racetrack as well. Richard Cherry and Aiden Donahue. And they had a great battle in Pocono last week for the victory. Ultimately, Cherry went on top there. They're looking to have the same sort of thing here tonight. Fortunately, they get together. I mean, this race has been so crazy that even the leaders have had issues navigating this race. Drivers that you never see having issues like Aiden Donahue and Richard Cherry. Only one driver that hasn't been involved in a wreck tonight that is a champion. That would be Dylan Banks. The other 3 have tonight. Cole Clausen, Matthew White, and they got Cherry on pit road, by the way. Oh, John Butler nearly takes out the 82 of Aiden Donahue, but here comes Richard Cherry down pit road. This is going to be a stop, and he actually is missing his back bumper cover. Is he? Yes, maybe? Yeah, he is. Slides through his pit stall. I don't know how he's getting serviced right now. Is that okay? Oh no, that the boxes are just weird. He also got Cole Clausen. He backs up to his pit stall. So green flag pit cycle is, I guess, starting to be underway here, with 50 laps to go in Dover. Donahue is actually starting to catch Sean Rowe. Rowe's got Eli Franklin to his inside. His affiliated teammate. That's not going to help him, and Donahue is starting to close that gap up for the race lead in Dover. So green flag pit cycles are starting up yet again for the final quarter of this race in Dover. Lap 152. So Cherry here pitting early. That would be the big undercut. But as this run goes on, then that would be too great for him. And he's still missing his back bumper cover, so there are so many damaged race cars. It's probably the most we've seen all season. I mean, Dylan Banks, you came at a hell of a time. My God. Aiden Donahue's coming to pit road in the 82 car. Will that force the hand of Sean Rowe? So he doesn't want to get jumped by him. He also got Leona Butler pitting. So green flag pit cycles are now underway in Dover. Here comes Aiden Donahue. Got to make sure you don't speed. Got to be perfect on and off. And in the pit box as well. Another oncoming. We're in the worst camera angle I've ever seen. Here comes the 96 Avenger. Stacy. He's multiple laps down anyways. And here comes your leader, Sean Rowe. Sped last time. He had a green flag pit stop. That didn't look too good either. Slides it down to the pit road here. Trying to get the pit road speed. Axel Smith also pits. This will give the lead to Bryce Benton. Oh, man. That was a little bit close there for Sean Rowe. A little bit too close for comfort for him. Here's Donahue. Him getting service. He's rolling off pit road now. Sean Rowe in the 20. Here he comes to his box. Perfectly in the pit box for him. Gotta hope he didn't get a penalty there. If he did, that's just another mistake by him, because that would have been his second speed penalty of the day. Here comes Donahue. It's the battle to watch. Will he beat Sean Rowe off of pit road? Rowe now rolling back on the racetrack in the 20 car, but he's on the apron. Has to go slow. Here comes Donahue at full speed. Here is Sean Rowe, and the 20 will pull back on the racetrack, and that's actually a great gap. Wow. I'm shocked. It's a fantastic gap he just gained out of Donahue. I mean, no speeding penalty either. That was an incredible job of execution. Donahue with the undercut, but the overcut by a lap this time works, and now Donahue has stuck in heavy lap traffic. At least somewhat heavy. And that is the lead now for the 20 car. Yeah, Benton coming down pit road as well. And Fabrillo on pit road. Mason Lindsay getting tires. Final pit stop scheduled of the night in Dover. Richard Cheery currently would not have the lead. Banks got the pit, so is Chandler. Still missing his front end. Banks on the wall a little bit there. Here's Chandler. There is 29 of Cheery, and here is Sean Rowe still leading this race. That's the gap between him and Aiden Donahue. And he's got the upper hand by about a lap on tires. This is a really incredible job on pit road for Sean Rowe. Speeding penalty the first time, recovered, got a lucky break from some cautions. Came out now in the final pit stop of the night. He is looking to take advantage of it. Still hitting. So we'll see Dylan Banks on pit road this time by. Also Chandler get the pit. Banks says everyone currently trapped the lap down, so a caution right now would be magical for the driver of the 24, but he's going to come to pit road. Don't want to hit the pit barrels like your Cole Wilson, then he will not do that. Dylan Banks on pit road for the final time tonight. And there is Sean Rowe. You can see the fresher tires, that advantage, what they give you. Cameron Chandler yet to pit again. But Sean Rowe leads, will lead in Dover in just about a minute. Once he passes Dylan Banks. There is Banks on the 20.
Cherry's come back down pit road.
Fortunate for him. It's battling for the lead in this. And again, so many drivers with issues tonight. And Sean Rowe will take the lead in the gap now. 1.8 seconds between him and Aiden Donahue with 40 laps to go in Dover. Riding with the 82 car of Donahue. There's that 20 car. Can he hold on and win his second race of the season? Last one, the victory lane, another concrete track in Nashville. I think Sean has the concrete tracks figured out. Looks of it. And currently Chandler is yet to pit. There he is in the 8 car. See so many cars that are missing their front ends off the pace. This hasn't been the most chaotic race of the season. That goes to Richmond easily. It's been one of the most chaotic, but man, who would have thought? I mean, so many leaders taken out in that one wreck. That's kind of what caused all this. All right, I think it's a good time to go to a Dover Crank It Up here on this Thursday night. Back live in Dover, coming to 30 laps to go, this time by for Sean Rowe in the 20. The gap 1.9 seconds over Eden Donahue. You have Bryce Benson running in third. How about Dylan Banks in his return to the Cup Series? He's learned this race car, and also he's taken advantage of some insane chaos we've had today. Just monumental what we had on that one restart. Running in fourth. How about Axel Smith running P5, his best run of the year in that 97 car. You got Connor Everett, another best run of the year in sixth. Cole Clausen, Winter Fontana this year running in seventh. Eighth place, how is Cameron Chandler even running? I don't know how this car's even somewhat fast. It's actually really impressive out of the 8 car of Cameron Chandler. Man, this has been a race to remember. Sean Rowe is starting to catch some lap traffic again. So this is about to get interesting for him. Oh, Donahue was loose down the front straightaway. Just lost about 3/10 or so. See Rowe now into the battle with the lap cars, trying to lap Ethan McMillan. You have Pace and Lindsay there as well. Sean Rowe isn't exactly the greatest of friends with Pace and Lindsay. Go back to Atlanta this season. I'll give you the story. And Cameron Chandler's actually pitting. Rowe trying to do a good job navigating around these lap cars. Looks like he will. Let him go. 26 laps to go this time by in Dover. Bryce Benson still running in third. What a great run out of this 9 car. We only have 7 cars in the lead lap. That would be the least for the Cup Series I don't even know how long, a very long time. Grand Nationals had a couple of races this season, but that's just because it's Grand National and the runs are so long there's no halfway break. A lot of inexperienced drivers there, but these are, of course, all veterans. Well, let me see real quick. The 11 drivers in this field have won a Cup race before. So, just about a half of the field for tonight at least. So you see a good amount, a lot of more cars, I would say, in the Charlotte 600 next week. Sean Rowe would love to get the next week. He would love to see that white flag, but we're still about 24 laps away from that happening. Now 23 to go until the white flag, 24 to go until the race finishes. Of course, now, last caution was about lap 108 after that massive pileup that included a ton of leaders and really changed the complexity of this entire race. Made it look like what we see right now. It's been a long night in Dover. Sean Rowe, though, continues to lead over Aiden Donahue by now about 2 seconds, warning about 1.9 to 3 seconds every single lap. No one's gating, no one's really losing. I mean, Aiden, remember him, is now Benson in some battle with some lap traffic here. Remember Aiden, he was right on the tail of Sean Rowe before the pit stop. Rowe pitted a lap later than Aiden Donahue, and somehow, someway, Rowe gained about 2 seconds on pit road. Clearly not the greatest of jobs executing on and off pit road for Aiden Donahue, and a fantastic job by Sean Rowe. Probably could not have asked for much more. Remember, had that speeding penalty in the first half. Recovered from that, was trapped the lap down up until the halfway break almost. And man, that massive crash down the front straightaway definitely helped him out. He's coming up 20 to go this time by, looking to sweep the concrete races here so far this season at Nashville and now Dover. A long night. These drivers are tired. These cars are damaged. A lot of them are after that massive crash. I mean, I know Dylan, I'd probably say this is the second biggest wreck of the year. I know, Dylan, you weren't around for the Daytona 500. I don't know if you saw the final lap crash we had there.
Did not.
Yeah, I would, once this race is over.
For something.
Yeah, once this race is over, I'd suggest you take a look at that. Because, oh my God, the biggest crash in NASCAR iRacing FedEx League history.
At least half.
On the final lap, that allowed Bryce Benson to get the win. You got Pace and Lindsay coming after her, just trying to salvage anything. The amount of cars that looks like a lap down, I feel like I'm watching a Season 1 race right now. Sadly. It's a hell of a way to go into the Charlotte 600 next week, though. Ooh, that's a moment out of the 20 of Sean Rowe. 18 laps remaining here in Dover. Just click down those times. Aiden Donahue not gaining anything. Trying, but no avail. Here's Bryce Benson still running in third. I wonder if Cherry's not too happy with Aiden Donahue here. I wonder if they have any bad blood after what happened between those two here in the second half. That basically took Richard out of the contention for the win. I mean, Butler, Hunsicker, White, Lindsay, Miller, Cherry. Those are all, that's like 7 cars that are always contending for these wins and probably would have contended for the win right now today. That got not taken out officially, but pretty torn up there. That just shows you what that massive crash did. And most of them were taken out in that besides Cherry. It's going to be a great points day, though, for Sean Rowe if he can just hold on for the win. His second win of the season. He's the third driver to go into multi-wins this year. We joined Matthew White with 2 and then Bryce Benson with 3. Aiden Donahue, I would say at this point, hoping for a yellow. There's no way, I don't think you can catch him on pace. He's actually losing time. Losing a lot of time over the last couple of laps. Aiden's got to be praying and hoping for a caution flag at this point. That 20 car, Sean Rose, continues to lead this race.
They're wrecking.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
are you kidding me? Wow, Dylan, unbelievable.
I wish. Put it out, Ethan. Put it out.
You know, we're just not going to do that.
Competition caution.
Yeah, with 12 to go.
There,
Okay.
Ethan panned around, see if there's a wreck.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you say there's a wreck, I'm going to look. Oh, my God. Of course, series moves to Charlotte next week. Also have the, real quick, this is pretty unknown, but the twin of 100s tomorrow at Langley for the iCar late model series. 2 100-lap races at Langley Speedway. That should be fun to finish off the week. Lobbies return next week. God, what a grueling week next week will be. I'm going to 10 to go here in Dover. Of course, or 11 to go, I'm sorry. Now 10 to go. Ticker Abber wants to actually update. We got the iCar race. It's a longer race than usual on Monday or Tuesday. A longer Grand National race, 134 laps on Tuesday or Wednesday. And on Thursday, of course, the Charlotte 600, our longest Cup Series race of the year. And lobbies on Friday. Coke Lawson still trying to hold on to his position. The lead lap will race Sean Rowe down into 1 and 2, and nothing really working there. Now we have only 6 cars on the lead lap. That's the least easily this season. I mean, I don't know what the second least amount of cars in the lead lap this year is. Might be Rockingham. Not exactly sure. I think it was Rockingham with 9. So this blows that out of the water. I read the race has had at least 15 or so. Oh, well over 15 cars in the lead lap. But not tonight in Dover. Tonight in Dover is a different story, different animal. 7 to go this time by, coming to it for Sean Rowe. She does not want to see a caution flag. Donahue's, the threat of him passing him on pace now is kind of out the window, unless Sean has a major issue all of a sudden. Aiden, maybe for the second straight week, going to have to settle for second place. Somebody just blew up. I don't really know what that was. Oh, it was Jacob Whale on the bottom. I think he just blew his motor. Late in the race here, he's coming to 6 to go. He will stop the car, hopefully in time to reset. There we go. Good job by him. He was running multiple laps down anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. Sean Rowe is very happy that he was able to reset there. Not cause the caution. Rich Thierry on pit road again. Coming back off. He just had a rough night after battling the win there late, or earlier. Now kind of, that's gone out the window. Aiden Donahue is so close, but again, so far. Back-to-back second place finishes. It's got to be great momentum, but not exactly the best thing for him. He has won the Charlotte 600 before, of course. That is next week. So maybe some good fortune coming into next week. See if he could go one spot better. It'll be a long, long race. Our league's biggest test of a man and machine, the Charlotte 600, next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3 laps to go for Sean Rowe in Dover. Looking for his second win of the season. Now in race number 10. Finished 5th week last week at Pocono. Had a DNF, his first of the year, or second of the year in Rockingham 2 weeks ago, which hurt him in the points. But this, if he can come around maybe one more time to take the white flag and the checker flag, this will certainly help. 2 to go for the driver of the 20. Aiden Donahue still 1.9 seconds back there. Final chance for a yellow to come out. Rowe doesn't want to see that at all. He just wants to get to this white flag. Off turn number 4 goes the 20 car. He will see the white flag this time by. It is 1 lap to go in Dover for Sean Rowe. What a race at Dover Motor Speedway. So much attrition after a massive crash took out a ton of leaders on the restart. Rowe was able to take advantage of that. Got fixed up after a pit road speeding penalty, and he's going to make his way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The Concrete King. He won Nashville. Now he'll win Dover. Sean Rowe and Ethan Trendler Racing score their second win of the season, and it happens from Dover Motor Speedway. Aiden Donahue will come home to finish a second place finish for the second straight week. Disappointed probably in that. Benton finishes third. Banks. How about Axel Smith? Great result. P5 will be incredible for him in the points. Haverilla, the final car in the lead lap. Oh my God. He will finish in 6th. The least amount of cars on the lead lap in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in many seasons. And the 100th race in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series certainly showed us a lot. It showed us what we have modern days now in the Cup Series. First half where the top 10 could all win the race. They're all so close together with each other and they're all so fast. And then the second half where there's so much attrition going back to season 1. So I would say that showed us both worlds and how far we've come in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Bit of a throwback here. But Sean Rowe gets his second win of the season. Man, that was certainly a night to remember, and Rowe will burn this thing down. Your winner in Dover. Second of the year for the 20. Second win for Ethan Trendler Racing. They've won both concrete races at Nashville and now Dover. Sean Rowe's pretty good at these types of racetracks, to say the least. Post-race interviews coming up from a wild one at Dover, and his teammate Dylan Banks will come and congratulate him. How about Dylan Banks? 4th place in his return. That is, I don't think you can ask for much better than that. Incredible. Dylan, maybe open for some more races?
I may.
We'll see. There's maybe an ETR Cup car open next week. Who knows? Anyways, Sean Rowe gets the job done tonight here in Dover. Post-race interview is about to come up. Probably going to be some frustration with drivers like Cameron Chandler and others. But we will see. And it's just, this is the first driver to finally make it to victory lane. I mean, Bryce Benton in both his wins this week. Good. What a week for Bryce Benton. Finishes 3rd in the Cup Series, won by iCar and Grand National. Incredible. One of probably his best week in NASCAR iRacing FedEx League history on the averages. And Sean Rowe pulls his 20 car to victory lane. Your winner in Dover. What a race. A long, grueling one. And it only sets us up for next week's Charlotte 600. All right. That was, I did enjoy that one. That was fun.
Ethan, I'll be back in a few minutes for interviews.
Okay. Anyways, first up for interviews, your winner, Sean Rowe. Sean Rowe, the Concrete King. Of course, he won another concrete race at Nashville earlier this season. You get your second concrete win of the season here tonight at Dover. How about it? I mean, speeding on pit road in the first, I believe it was a speeding penalty in the first half of the race here.
Yeah,
you guys rebound from that, get your laps back, and then a massive crash ensues there on the front straightaway. Takes out a lot of contenders, gives you guys, of course, the lead. You're able to hold on to the lead there and win your second race of the season. I mean, just take me through how you got the job done today.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't even think about the fact that I've swept the concrete races so far this season. But you know, this was probably my luckiest race I've had in this league. I almost left the race when I got the speeding penalty because I knew I was going to be like 3 or 4 laps down and I would have to get super lucky, but thank God I didn't because I won. But you know, we just had the tachometer set off a little bit and just didn't quite hit our marks right. But accidentally killed Aiden Holes. I was just kind of zoned out in that point, but you know, once that caution came out, it kind of just stacked everyone up and some crazy things happened. And then I got the lucky dog, get fresh tires, get track position, and then luckily the entire field wiped out behind me. Probably some of the toughest guys like Cameron was in it. I believe Ashton was in it. He was pretty fast too. He's been good these last few weeks. Um, and just playing the arrow. I'm not a fan of this car's arrow, but when I'm leading, I am actually a really big fan of the arrow because it helps me a lot. But it was a wild up and down race, and somehow came out on top.
I mean, yeah, this is a really, really great victory for you guys and the team. I mean, what was your reaction when you saw, I mean, so many win contenders? You saw Hunziker got taken out, and White got taken out, Chandler, Lindsay, and others.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I was pretty happy, but at first I couldn't even tell because I looked in my mirror and like I knew there would be wheel spin from the guys behind. I saw a few of them get loose, but at first I thought they saved it. But in these cars, when everyone's so tight like that, you just know they're gonna wreck. And then the first thing I asked my spotter, I think, was like, was Cameron in it? Because he's the points leader right now, and I need all the points I can get on him after whatever happened at Rockingham. I think we had a flu race there. But yeah, first thing I asked was like, was Cameron in it? I wanted to know how bad his damage was. It was really bad, but good on him for getting a top 10 out of the race. But like that was one of the best things I could see all season was the entire field wrecking behind me with probably like 5 of the top 8 fastest cars in it.
Yeah, of course, incredible, insane scenes down there. But after a long and wild one here in Dover, we go to an even longer one next week, the Charlotte 600, the longest race of the season. What do you guys think you could do there to, of course, carry this momentum over? A great win today in Dover to maybe get another good finish and good points day in Charlotte.
Just gotta be on our P's and Q's. Don't speed on pit road in that one. That would be the game plan. I believe we've only done like 1.5 miles this season, kind of 2 if you count Nashville, but Atlanta, I was pretty fast there, until something happened which we don't talk about at the end. But I just gotta not put myself down at Charlotte. I think I can do pretty well there. I think it might be a little bit multi-groove for some reason. I just have that feeling, which would be pretty nice for this car. But just stay consistent. I think we'll be there at the end.
All right, Sean. Well, of course, big congratulations on the victory here at Dover. Your second of the season, your second win on a concrete track. We'll see if you can win Bristol to sweep the concrete races this season in 2 weeks. But of course, next week the Charlotte 600. We will see you there. Have fun celebrating this one.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, going to be no interview for Aiden Donahue, Bryce Benton. Bryce Benton, I don't even know where to begin with this race. Oh my God, the massive crash there on the front straightaway. You guys were involved. I thought you were done. I swear to God, I think you had the same damage Cameron Chandler did, but somehow you returned to the racetrack with barely any damage, and you finished third. How about that? How did you do it?
Yeah, really was not a good executed race, honestly. I don't know. Mainly from the first half, I don't know. It was not good executed. Obviously had some controversy with Payson and all that stuff, and I don't know. I just from all the incidents, I didn't really rebound well, except for that last one that you were talking about. I did good at rebounding from that, and um, yeah, I don't even know. I don't really know how my car looked after that, but apparently I wasn't bad. I thought I was gonna be done just because of the way I hit, but the steering wheel was somehow still straight, and it was less than a minute of damage. So I don't really know. That's kind of lucky, but yeah, it was still obviously a challenge to drive through the field. It was a challenge to pass all day, um, and yeah, I mean that was probably the first time this week where I've just kind of been back in traffic, and I think I kind of went back to regular me at Dover for a while, and not how I was driving earlier this week, mainly because I was just back in traffic, and I think that's actually where I struggle here. I think this whole week has just kind of taught me a lot. I think I'm good at Dover when I'm in clean air, but when I'm in traffic, it's definitely rough for me, and I don't really have a whole ton of pace when I'm in traffic. But I mean, P3. I do wish we could have swept. I really wanted to tonight, but you know, 2 wins on the week, still pretty good, and then a top three here tonight. So overall, pretty good. And I mean, just kind of honestly, after all those issues, surprised we were able to get top three. So yeah.
Well, our league's biggest test is next week, the Charlotte 600 here for season number 5. You guys in the league have had a great pace at Charlotte. You won a Grand National race here last season, and then in the second race at Charlotte for the Cup Series last season, you guys led a lot of laps, I think, and came home with a good finish there. What can we expect out of you next week for our longest race of the season?
Yeah, I feel confident. I mean, I don't think Charlotte's my best mile and a half, but it's a mile and a half, and I do really like the mile and a halves in this car. I mean, as I kind of showed at Atlanta, I guess I wasn't the fastest at Atlanta, but still, I really do enjoy the mile and a halves in this car. I think this is kind of where the car thrives is the mile and a half, so it should be a pretty fun race, and yeah, I mean, I have a lot more confidence going into that than Dover. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do there. Won't be running the Grand National race at Charlotte this season, but yeah, we'll just have to go see what we can do in the Cup race, and yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do. I think we could have a pretty solid run at Charlotte. So yeah.
All right, Bryce. Well, of course, nice job. Third place finish. So many recoveries here today, and we'll see you next week for the Charlotte 600.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, next up here for post-race interviews is going to be how about Connor Havrilla? Connor Havrilla, what a finish for you guys. Your best of the season, 6th, a top 10. I mean, you guys, of course, took advantage of the little incident we had there in the front straightaway that piled up about most of the leaders, but you guys will finish 6th place here. How did you ultimately do it there in the second half?
Survive the first half. We struggled big that first run of saving tires. It was not a good run. We had that caution at the very end. Didn't just, we had that caution. Decided to stay out, save the tire sets for the end. We didn't need them, but wanted to keep them anyway. We had the caution. Got that stage point, which was finally first stage point. And then yeah. No, but that wreck definitely helped us that second half for sure. But I felt much better that second half. Found out how to save well and had to just keep it and keep cornering me and just try to get a good finish.
Well, of course, Connor, we head next week to the Charlotte 600. It's going to be a long, grueling race for everyone here. It should be a fun one as well. But what are your expectations for you personally in that race?
Better than here, hopefully. Hopefully we can continue getting some good stage points next week and keep that rolling, and hopefully maybe top 10. I feel more confident there than here for sure. But if we can keep that going, we might still have a chance in this after all.
All right,
yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, Connor. Well, of course, great job. Your best finish of the season here in Dover, 6th place. Really nice. And we will see you next week for the Charlotte 600.
All right, thank you.
Cole Clausen finished 7th today. Cole Clausen, what a wild race, especially on that restart wreck. Well, first of all, you guys were kind of involved in that. Take me through your perspective of what happened there that piled up the whole field behind you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take full responsibility for that. I was trying not to spin the tires, obviously. I knew I was struggling on restarts all night long and spun them a little bit and got in the wall, and I just kind of thought I'd just ride out of it, but no, that must have been Miles of the Monster hiding in that wall, because he stuck me right into that thing, and I could not get out of it, and then I just got plowed from behind. So that's literally entirely on me. I'm sorry to everyone who got involved in that. But yeah, other than that, it was a really good day for us. Came home with a P7 finish and kept it pretty clean. So definitely happy with our result here, but just kind of kicking myself for taking out like a bunch of guys there. Pretty embarrassing for me, honestly.
Well, of course, we move on to next week at Charlotte. It's a big week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The mile and a halves are back. We have, in the next 4 races, 3 mile and a halves after only having like 2 in the first 10. So do you think those mile and a halves suit your driving style better? How do you think next week could go for you guys all the way around at Charlotte?
Yeah, mile and a half's definitely my driving style, but this Gen 4 car has been interesting for me. I've had good races, I've had bad races, and uh, both on like a lot of different tracks. Like I could run good on a short track, or I could run bad on a short track. It just kind of depends how the race goes and on how aggressive everyone is during the race. But I think in Grand National we could have a really good day there. So definitely gonna try to aim to have a good points day in Grand National and hopefully survive the chaos in the Coca-Cola 600. So it should be a fun week of racing from Charlotte.
All right, Cole. Well, nice job finishing P7 in this race here at Dover, and we'll see you throughout all the action next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, continuing up post-race interviews here from Charlotte. Andrew Stacy, I believe, is next. Andrew Stacy, I mean, it was a wild race for everyone here tonight. I mean, insane restart wreck that took out so many leaders. What was your perspective on that? And ultimately, somehow you guys finished 12th. I'm not really sure how.
Yeah. We we were gonna race good. We were gonna have a great race, but Sean Hogovich intentionally wrecked us. Uh, Blatantly obvious. I'm pretty mad. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I really think I could have had a good day, better day than this. I'm still happy we were 12, but obviously just a bit mad.
Well, of course, Charlotte is next week. How do you guys think you can, we make a return to the mile and a halfs, 3 mile and a halfs in the next 4 races for the Cup Series? What do you guys think you could do there next week at the Charlotte 600?
I think I do half decent. I'm always good with half miles with this car. It's always been where my best finishes have been, and yeah, hopefully it's better than my short track races.
All right, Andrew, well, nice job here finishing still the race. I mean, that could have been a lot worse for you guys. And we'll see you next week in the Charlotte 600.
Thank you.
All right.
I think we got somebody in the top 10.
Oh, yep, here we go. Well, Cameron Chandler, this one did not go the way you guys planned it at all. Of course, you had the most laps led there in the first half. You didn't win the stage, but then what was your perspective on that big restart pilot that took out so many lead drivers?
I mean, we hit the gas, and then Cole Clausen, I guess he got a little bit hungry and decided he was going to go eat the wall. And we had nowhere to go. I mean, I checked up for him. Miller couldn't see what was happening, though, so nothing really he could do. And then typical, we have a really fast car, lead a bunch of laps, and it looked pretty dominant. And then a random caution happens right before the stage, and then they rack until I get taken out, and then that's when they decide they're going to start going green. So typical FedEx race. I'm really tired of looking forward to Dover and being really fast, and then all of a sudden getting taken out from something mind-bogglingly stupid, but it's whatever. We go to Charlotte next week. It's, I think, equally as good of a track for me. We lost a bunch of points to Sean on that from that incident, but hopefully we can go gain him back in Charlotte and maybe win.
Well, yeah, you guys are a former winner of the Charlotte 600 with that incredible battle with Matthew White back in Season 3. You think a second Charlotte 600 win is on the table next week?
I'm not going to say anything about that because, I mean, anytime you think you have a win locked up, a lap car is going to swerve in front of you, or Cole Clausen's going to eat the wall, or someone's going to wreck before the stage and ruin it like they did for me last season and this race. So I don't know. I mean, we'll show up there. We'll try to be fine. Try to win. But I'm not going to say we're going to have a fast car or anything because anytime I feel confident about a race, I get wrecked. So.
All right, well, Cameron, still nice job salvaging something out of this race. Could have been a lot worse for you guys, like something like an example like Matthew White had today. And we will see you next week for the Charlotte 600.
Yep.
Okay. Pace and Lindsay, I think, is up next. Pace and Lindsay, man, rough day for you guys here. It all started with Bryce Benton. Can you take me through what was going on between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, we started the day off. We didn't really get any practice, but we qualified P8, and we were starting to make our way up through the field. I got up to about P6. Then we pitted for tires there on that. I believe it was the second yellow. I think we had an early yellow. But whatever caution, I don't remember what it was, like around lap 80 or something. We went into turn one with not Bryce Benson, John Butler on slightly older tires, so I knew he was going to be slower entering the corner. Just ran right behind him, buying my time knowing I had fresher tires and a chance to win the stage. And Bryce Benson just came barreling in and ran through us. Wasn't the first time, or wasn't the last time either. He did it about 20 laps later too when I was giving everyone the high side to pass me because I had damage thanks to him. And then, just from there, of course, he finishes P3 with almost no damage, and we get messed up out of it and finish P13 7 laps down. So, I mean, I think we could have got a couple more laps of practice. We probably could have started in the top 5 and avoided all this. But overall, I feel like we had a lot of speed today until Bryce Benson happened. So we're gonna probably talk it out with Bryce Benson and see where to go from here.
Well, yeah, of course, the Charlotte 600 is next week. That's our biggest test, the longest race of the year. You guys think maybe a bit of a turnaround? Because you guys were going very good in the point situation. This probably hurts, but you guys think you can maybe break inside of the chase next week?
Yeah, I don't know if we can get our way into the chase next week, but if we can just get ourselves a couple points closer, that's going to be better than how we've been doing the last 2 weeks. If we can just maybe get like a couple stage points like we were on track to do today until Bryce Benson happened, maybe get a solid top 10 finish, then hopefully we can start getting a little bit of momentum towards the chase.
All right, Payson, well, of course, still nice job on the race tonight. Sorry it didn't go exactly the way you guys wanted, and we'll see you next week in Charlotte.
Yeah, thank you. Freeway.com, Coca-Cola-Store.com.
Okay. Anyways, I think we have one more to go, 2 more to go. Cherry up next. Richard Cherry, you guys were up there trying to battle for your second straight win after you guys avoided the massive crash on the front straightaway in the restart. And you had a little bit of contact there with, I believe, Aiden Donahue. Can you take me through what happened there to basically end your contention for the win?
I came down, he came a little bit up, I think, and if anything, it's more my fault. I mean, I just kind of came down, but this is so frustrating because you cannot pass in this car. They just put the next gen error to the Gen 4. They're grabbing the cash, I guess. So congratulations. They're gonna do the same thing for the O'Reilly car. They're just gonna make it dirtier city. So yeah, congrats to Sean though. Really cool. Man, he's really good. So 6K I rating. I think it comes from the IDK community, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Lucas Kim. Like Aston Martin, our cars are fast, safe, and reliable. So that is good.
All right, well, Cheery, of course. It's Charlotte week next week. Is that a good racetrack for you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's my best mile and a half. We almost won there in like what I said yesterday. I'm not going to repeat myself. Last season we ran really well. We won the stage. We probably should have won the race. I couldn't do the cup race because blue collar job, working my ass off. I just spent my time on the phone with my dad. So that's. See, in all seriousness, I just couldn't make the race. So I don't think I would have done well. I did the second race there. I didn't run that well because I had the car damage. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, Cherry. Well, we'll see you next week from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Good luck there.
All right, thank you.
One more to go, Knox Thompson. Knox Thompson, you guys are having a relatively okay day here tonight, filling in for William Reagan in the 36 for Johnson Motorsports, like you've done the last few weeks for a couple of different drivers. But unfortunately, you were taken out in that massive crash down the front straightaway. Take me through your perspective on that.
Well, I was having a really, really good day. I kind of got screwed up because I keep preying on cautions, which is never a good idea. But once I got my the caution, I was already a lap down, and pit stops hasn't fully finished, and I just never got the lap back. I should have got my lap back, but the wreck that did give me the caution after with Bryce and Payson just... I got a little bit of a hit from Bryce, and it took away my lucky dog. And I feel like if I got that lucky dog, I would have gotten lane choice and probably would have avoided that big wreck.
Well, of course, Charlotte is up next week. Of course, most importantly for you guys, the Grand National race. 134 laps there compared to the usual 100 for mile-and-a-half races. Does that change any way you kind of look at the race?
I just look at it as a normal race, normal points race. Just try to get out there, get some more points. Been getting consistent top 10s. Maybe try to turn that into a top 5. for next week at Charlotte.
All right, Knoxville, nice job here finishing. Well, of course, nice job on the race. Sorry about the early exit for you guys, and we'll see you next week in Charlotte. Wow, Eli, what a debut for you guys. How about that P10? Incredible.
Yeah, pretty good day. We'll take it. Better than any Wayne Johnson finish probably in his career,
Oh my God.
we'll take that.
Oh, he's not even here.
Yeah, I texted him already. Probably should take over the 88 car. I don't know, but it was a good day overall. We'll take the top 10. Obviously, we just hung around. We barely got involved in that wreck. And it gave us a little bit of damage, but honestly, didn't do too much to our car. We just rode around and watched everybody drop. So, top 10, probably first top 10 for in the 88 car ever.
Oh, wow. But yeah, we go to Charlotte next week. I mean, what a wild race tonight in Dover. I mean, I just couldn't believe the massive crash we had down the front straightaway. Just insane. And yeah, that will just about do it. So get the late model series tomorrow, but for the important stuff. We go to Charlotte next week. Start off with that car on Tuesday. The Grand National Series on Wednesday, and of course the season number 5, Charlotte 600 on Thursday night. So that will do it. A wild one in Dover. My goodness, what a race. On behalf of all drivers, team owners, officials, everyone involved making this league what it is, congratulations, Sean Earl on his 2nd win of the season, and we will see you next week from America's home for racing, our home track, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Good night from Dover.